welcome everybody to episode 6 of Blood and Silver here on Hard Knock Dice. We'll be playing this every Wednesday. Before we go any further, I implore you to check out the Extra Life link, which I'm sure someone will drop in chat. We've partnered with Extra Life to raise money for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Everyone likes helping kids in need. There is no downside, so check it out. To quote Mr. Alex, DM of our Saturday campaign, open your hearts and your wallets to a good cause. Now onward to the recap, as I make sure that I get all the details. The wondrous city of Griffin, one of the 4 great cities of the world, has suffered a slow subjugation by its more powerful neighbors. What started as guidance and mercantile partnership has evolved into something far more insidious. Talks of annexation have sparked a rebellion, and it is in the service of this rebellion that our protagonists find themselves in their current predicament. Introduced to the leaders of the rebellion, the self-titled Order of the Dawn, by a mysterious mutual acquaintance named Kiel, they were given space in an abandoned theater as a base of operations and assigned their first mission, which they completed with incredible violence. On the return journey, it was revealed that the bartender-turned-revolutionary Apollinaire had made a deal with the devil for his powers, a revelation shared only with Roderick over the late-night campfire. Having returned with their rescued prize, a young strategic genius crippled in the fighting during the Black Sunset Massacre 1 year ago, they were promptly assigned their next task: assassinate the enemy general, a military leader from Karath, who also held office as the Karathite governor within Griffin. After communing with an elfin commando who revealed that Seraphina was an agent of the Kingdom of the Elves and bearing many gifts of the Sylvan race, they settled into a badly needed celebration, dance and drink keeping the horrors of the conflict at bay, at least for a little while. And it is on the morning after this respite and revelry that we shall rejoin our insurgents. Insurgents /
Freedom
party.
fighters.
Freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters.
So, I'm not going to, for those of you that don't sleep, I will not be torturing you with devilish visits or any other kind of chance encounters. Your night went swimmingly, and we will leave it at that. It is early in the morning. Early for people who've been revelrying all night, at least. As y'all begin to awaken in whatever state you think it would be appropriate for you to be waking up in. What do y'all do?
Checking on. Want to see if Guy is hungover this time around.
Yeah. How many?
She had watered down wine this time, so a little.
How
better.
many guests do we have that are probably still there? Do we have
Kicked them
some
all
light
out.
partying, or is there just bodies all over the place?
Not all over the place. I will say that there's probably like 5 or 6 other people, plus Galag, who did not become very intoxicated. He is a professional. Yeah, there's a few. One of them being the older guy that you were talking to, Apollinaire, just kind of slumped.
He's not even hungover.
No, he's just old.
He's just old.
I didn't drink very much because I was doing a lot of the music playing, and so I think that when things started to die down, Seraphina fell asleep, and I think she's one of the first people up, because I think this like really reinvigorated her, and so she's as gently and as tactfully as she can waking up the people who aren't supposed to be in the theater and going like, hey, it's time for you to go now. Wake up, please. I'm sure
fair.
that there is food downstairs. Please leave.
I did lie about one particular detail. Galag is not there when you wake up. So 5 or 6 down to 4 or 5. And when you did wake up, you did have a handwritten note next to you. Simply read, "You have done well, agent of the Elfin King. Though others may not see it thus, I am proud of what you are doing for our people, sister. Spirits keep you well."
I think that it like him calling her sister, she's like, she hasn't gone downstairs yet, so she's like,
No one can see this.
Yeah, like, I'm a strong person. It's fine.
Angry thoughts. Angry thoughts.
Fire and brimstone. Fire and
Yeah.
brimstone.
Not quite. I don't have any fire spells.
Definitely not the reception that you usually get from other members of the elfin military.
Right, which is why, yeah, the reaction is, she's touched.
People, for the most part, leave. Of course, Maximilian being one of them. He was just tired. They didn't let him drink. The only one that doesn't budge is the older man who's propped up against like the wall. He's like, just kind of waves you away and goes back to sleep. He's like 60. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey,
If anything, I'll have Roderick pick him up and carry him downstairs.
throw him down the stairs.
Not throw him, just walk him down the stairs. She's not
Guy-
that cruel.
Guy is missing. But
Oh.
you do hear
What?
a lot of shuffling up in the rafters.
Now I'm curious.
Guy slept in the rafters.
Hello?
Gaia, dear, please come down.
Peeks her head out.
As a cat, I presume.
Look, we're gonna, with that little tidbit of information, I'm gonna add an addendum. Seraphina, there was also a wrapped package in the same hand, written out for Gaia.
Seraphina messages Gaia and goes, if you want your present, you have to come down.
Second you say present, jumps down almost recklessly, but right before she hits the ground, flaps her wings, and then transforms back. Give.
Take care of yourself, please. I don't want you falling and cracking your head open. And I hand her the gift.
Oh, thank you. I actually, you don't have to worry about that. I have something that I can do. So I don't need to worry about falling.
Okay.
In your sleep,
Oh no, if I fall in my sleep, I will probably die.
I think that is
Okay, well. There's not much I can
Let's
do
just
with
avoid
this, and Seraphina walks away.
Fair enough.
Roderick comes back. He's decided to go out into the town in the morning, but just to like a nearby well to get some water. But he's got a big like cooking pot type kind of thing of water and a ladle, and there's just water in it.
Easily done. Although probably mostly
Good
like fountains than wells, but
Sure.
at least in the Carnival District, specifically because it is all about pomp and circumstance.
Gotcha.
Gaia, do you open your parcel? It is a simple like rectangle, with the word Gaia scrawled on it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Roll
It
my dexterity saving.
contains two things. Has a leather-bound book, very, very small. Looks like it can't be more than a few dozen pages. And also a folded piece of paper with a note on it. The folded piece of paper says, I pray to the spirits to bring you peace, and I'll leave you this gift, that you might have the means to seize it. The leather-bound book will be, for all intents and purposes, the information necessary for you to copy the spell Call Lightning into your wizard spellbook. Seraphina, if you do glimpse it, you'll recognize it as a manual used by the Woodwraith Commandos for their mages.
Seraphina sort of elbows Gaia and goes, this one's real good. This one just
not know what it does yet.
We need to go away from people for you to practice this one. I don't think Roderick or Apollinaire will appreciate us practicing this one in particular.
Oh, okay. Sorry, this look is I'm trying to figure out where it is.
It is. You're gonna have to add it manually somehow because it is not on the wizard spell list. This is not something you would ordinarily be able to do. It is a druid spell.
I will figure it out.
So, but just make a note somewhere that treat it like a wizard scroll, I guess. And copying it into your wizard spellbook will be functionally identical to as if you had found an equivalent scroll.
All right. Well,
Fighting.
he's very, very sneaky, right?
He is.
Thank you. I think he heard me.
I'm sure he did in his heart of hearts.
Oh, okay. But is Roderick making breakfast?
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah. Roderick can have gone to get the water at any juncture since you don't sleep, nor do you consume alcohol. So.
Yeah. I was saying that I was just getting back when you guys are getting up.
Gotcha.
With
See
your
him
cauldron
stumbling
of
with your
water.
Yeah.
pot of water.
That's a big pot. Ludwig, what you have there?
Oh, okay. Water. Drinking a lot, hydrating. There's a lot of people here last night, so drink up. Come on. Let's just...
I'm gonna go around and force people to drink water.
Yeah.
Turns out Roderick is the mom friend.
Well, I mean, he's been up all night going like, oh man, this is gonna be rough otherwise.
Yeah,
I was up
easily
all
done.
night worrying about you all.
Yeah, you got, downstairs you have like 24 some odd hungover young warriors of the rebellion in various states of suffering, so they're all happy to have your water.
They truly did mighty amounts of battle.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh god. Alright.
You're now slightly more hydrated than you were before.
Shall we have some breakfast and to work on a plan for this next mission that we are given?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we...
Yeah, right. Well, that's from the pot downstairs, I do not think. Retrieve something from elsewhere.
I think Serafina looks at Apollinaire and is like understands 100%. So if we're going to talk strategy, I sort of look at Roderick and go, can you organize like a war table for us here? I'm going to go across the street to get some croissants.
You got it. It'll be great.
Yeah. So I run across the street and, spend a couple of silver over with my friends, my lovely cafe friends, and bring them over to Apollinaire and Gaia and myself.
What
Hell
room
yeah.
were you in when you asked Roderick to do that?
In the up in the theater, like on the
Okay.
stage.
Okay. So at some point after she's gone to leave, Roderick will start to make a war table for that spot.
Hell yeah. War table.
Yeet. The Percival's Tea House was what was across the street. So a meal will be 2 silver apiece.
That's fine. Like it
Easy.
basically like we have plenty of gold right now.
Hell yeah, we got paid.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like I even tip them. Like I throw like 10 silver, and
Hell yeah.
I want to keep them in business. This is the only good food that is
hold on.
accessible.
They aren't hurting. This is a popular looking bistro, you know. But yeah, she sends you off like, don't forget, you just gotta add a little bit of hot water up here, and it'll be delicious. This tea right here goes with the sandwiches that we provided for you.
Amazing. You are all truly a godsend. And I grab my things and
Have a good day now.
Your tea pairing with your breakfast.
Yeah, you return with your croissant breakfast and tea.
Love her sandwich.
yeah, it's a good breakfast sandwich. Ooh, buddy. Let's
All right.
make a plan to assassinate someone.
You get some,
Or maybe not. Maybe not assassinate.
you get
Wait,
some
nobody-
really almost like predatory looks from the people you're walking past that are all hungover, standing guard with your tray of sandwiches. They don't
I-
reach, but they watch it.
I give all of them the meanest Seraphina stare down as she walks down the hall.
We were friends last night, but we'll be enemies today if you fuck with this food.
100%.
Watch out.
So, yeah, it won't be difficult at all for Roderick to assemble a large table, a war table, if you will, in the middle of y'all's randomly evolving theater space.
Did
Our
we?
house.
It's an open floor plan.
Is it a home? Is it a nightclub? Is it a theater? Is it a
We have a
strategic
wet
room?
bar. That's
Yes.
desirable. That's a desirable feature.
Why,
Like,
why do we? There's no need to put labels on this kind of thing, okay? let's just let it happen.
very
This is our
open
place.
dining room.
It-
It's open.
Bed for some.
Like-
you know.
The beds, bars.
But I don't think we did, but just to double check, did we receive like a packet of information similar to the one that we got for the last mission or no?
No.
I don't know. I
Oh.
haven't written down. Okay.
No, I was under the impression that would come in the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm. With whatever they may be able to gather for us, but other than that, figure out what we can in the meantime.
Correct.
He said that he was going to, over the next couple of days, organize a meeting with the other leaders of the rebellion
Mhm.
because he needs to get Michelle DuPont to poke around because she's the head of the servants in the Citadel and
Gotcha.
try and get some information from them. Also, to try and get some information from no, that's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Big think. With that being said, so for the moment we are left to our own devices in finding what information we may be able to.
Yes.
This is much more probably going to be much more difficult. Consider. I don't know about all of you. I have no connections up that way.
I have one idea, and that's to discover whether or not he has any vices. Whether that's gambling, whether that's drinking, whether that's women or men, whatever he swings. I don't know. I don't care.
She'll kill him.
Pleasures
either
of
way.
the flesh.
But if he has a vice, that's something that we can exploit.
Just so.
And I have connections within several of the pleasure houses. You know, even they need some music sometimes.
One must set some mood, yes. All right. So we'll see if perhaps perhaps something can be found of his ways he entertains himself one way or the other, which is good. And I believe I can say that I don't know where he lives exactly, but that should not be too difficult information to find. And once we know it, take a look, see, or with as close as we can get, and see if it is vulnerable from law approach.
So, have you made a decision on how we're going to like deal with him once we get him?
I mean, I know that it would be preferable to most of the party here that we do not harm him. So I would go with blackmail is the next set of options. That could cripple him enough to make him maybe leave at least long enough for our plans to go forward.
Well, if not to leave her, but then at the very least to not interfere if we take him elsewhere, or perhaps just sit in this area where you are not allowed to leave. Put him under house arrest, basically. You cannot leave as long as you do not attempt to. No harm shall come to you. You will simply proceed. I mean, and perhaps we can even convince him that I doubt he wishes to be here at all.
All right. Do we know if this fellow's magic at all? Anything like that?
There is no indication from those that have lived in the city for any period of time that he has displayed any magical aptitude. There's no rumors about it, no public displays, nothing like that.
Is something like that kind of like more common? Like, would you know information about someone like that in general? Like, if
it would be a big deal.
Okay.
Unless he kept it like super duper super secret.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, if it became public knowledge, it would be talked about.
Right. Okay.
Okay, what was it that you were saying?
I could try to read what he has in his mind, and I mean, especially if we have him in a room where he cannot leave for a long time, I feel like I could be pretty successful at that.
You have to be close to do this.
Yes.
So is potential for getting information from him once he is within our grasp.
Yeah, all right. I mean, should I start trying to make like a cage or something in the basement?
I feel like is that putting him in a cage will make him less likely to cooperate of his own volition, if possible.
Could be a backup plan.
Right.
Backup plan, or have a loom that is simply has a door that we can has a stealthy lock on it.
Get a knock on the door leading to the basement.
DM, do we know if there are any specific taboos in that would be applicable to folks in Karathi? I'm just thinking about, like, you know, obviously with like Altis, like they're very magic phobic. But it's like I'm just trying to think is there anything that maybe that we can exploit based off of his background, his community?
Exploitable taboos. The only one who's actually been in Karath that I know of would be Roderick.
Okay.
So Roderick, roll me a wisdom check with no proficiency.
Oh, it's a 2 + 5, 7.
You don't recall off the top of your head anything particularly negative. About the most you're going to remember about their culture is that they're very about like personal strength and accomplishment, big on honesty, and they acknowledge the gods, but they don't worship them because only the weak yield to higher powered beings. The truly strong survive on their own merit.
Wait, so these guys really hold a lot of disdain for Altus then?
They have historically been at war.
Well, we could take advantage of the honesty piece, because if we prove him to be a liar and remove his honor, the removal of honor is highly, like, removes.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Isn't it kind of like a given that politicians and stuff like lie all the time, though, right?
I do not think that he is he's sort of as a politician for the most part.
I feel like
He's
all
a-
nobles are kind of like politicians in a way.
Right, but it's not about him being honest with the council members of Griffin. If we can shatter his honor with his own community, like exploit that of prove that he's done something dishonorable, and then again blackmail him and say, if you don't lay off, choose to remove yourself, abstain from this fight, we will bring this to your leader, to your king, and dishonor him.
Okay,
So
right.
it's not
I
so
got
much people here in Griffin.
Cool.
What if it is similar but different? What if we are able to produce evidence of his lead, those who he reports to, his king? If they are lacking in honor, then that should offend him deeply. That he has been following their orders. Yes. It may even be enough for him to go fuck those guys and assist us. And if he is as brilliant as he has been made out to be, that would be a great asset.
Yeah, make him a turncoat.
Mhm.
Regardless, we just need to remove him from the equation.
What?
It is about that time that y'all do hear a knock on the door.
Hello?
May I come in? Is it an adult male voice with which you are not familiar?
Yes, please join us, indeed.
Assassin.
The door opens and you see an individual wearing an artisan's outfit, and clasped to one shoulder is the Franz Lin emblem. Valentine Pascal has sent me here.
Hello?
I am Roche Lapard. He may have mentioned me.
Not by name. He said he knew somebody within your organization, so?
Yes. The guy's probably in his mid to late 40s. He's got a little bit of gray going on, but some hard-won lines in his face, but he's still youthful in his behavior and otherwise in his appearance. Just kind of takes a couple steps in, looks around at the unorthodox accommodations, and understand that you could be in need of equipment.
Quite possibly.
In exchange for a acquisition fee, can attempt to acquisition some things, but looks down at his timepiece, and I have a couple of hours if you wish to put in an order, as it were.
I do not think that sounds like a bad idea. However, and just kind of like gesturing with the cane from where he's sitting, I believe what may be of greater importance is the acquiring of fewer assassins for my friend here. I just kind of gesture at Roderick.
Unfortunately, I am just an assembly worker, not even an engineer. Low level, I pack the boxes, I send them off. I have no actual influence. Although, I have heard things about you. Just kind of gestures over at Roderick. Not
Did you-
thanks.
Did you know any of those guys? Your friends or anything like that?
It does not pay to become friends with the hands of Fransley.
Oh, well, they definitely stubbed a few nails.
Imagine. They don't know much. They do not talk to us or explain things to us, but I saw the burns.
Well.
So, it's kind of like, even though y'all are in an enclosed space, he is very clearly uncomfortable with being here and keeps looking over his shoulder. Speaking of Fonzlin agents, I would like to spend as little time here as possible.
Well, it may be well, not only for us, but also for you and any of your friends at work, or those who stand to lose much if such a powerful organization as Franz Lin were to collapse. Is that certain pursuits would lead to such an event.
Speak more clearly, please.
If they continue to pursue our friend here, we will be forced to disassemble Franz Lin here within the city of Griffin.
Well, I find this of the utmost absurdity, considering the power they wield both politically and militarily. Again, I have no influence. As a matter of fact,
I simply ask that you perhaps spread rumor.
I will be very careful. First,
That is all I ask.
me and my family I cannot be risked.
Of course, I do
My
not ask you
associations
to
with
risk
you, no.
yourself. I simply wished for you to spread words that you heard in the street.
There is already some word of conflict in the alleys.
Then simply reinforce such whispering.
Like, you got any of those, like, hard and steel plates for armor and stuff like that?
Meaning,
Can you get some?
you want armor?
No, I mean, well, yeah, but I can make it. I just need some hard steel.
Hardened steel would be very easy. You do not even need to get that from Franzlin.
Well, I thought you were stealing things.
Well, I am going to be taking things out of crates, or perhaps before they get their serial numbers stamped onto them. Every Franzlin piece of equipment is given a identification number. The trick is to swipe it before it gets a number. Once it gets a number, it is tracked.
What specifically do you think you could get?
It depends. So, to cut through to the mechanical side of things, basically what is going to happen is you can purchase Franzlin devices from him at 1.5 times the listed cost. And then
Holy shit.
and then he
That's
will
expensive.
attempt to steal them. It will be a percent roll for each individual item.
Holy shit.
You won't get charged until
Oh,
you receive the item.
gotcha.
But
Or if he
put in
gets,
your
you know,
order.
caught and executed.
you'll put in your order. There will be a delay of 1d4 days, and then you will or won't receive your order, at which point you'll make payment.
Yeah, that's a problem.
No.
That's a minute.
So I will keep an eye out to try and get hold of the things that you need. But I need to know what you need.
I need a list of those items.
Yeah, that's what I was like,
I
where were
thought I
those
had-
under?
It's in the group chat in Discord. Scroll up
is-
a little bit.
Which document is it in?
Franz.
Franz Lin items.
Oh, it's its
Oh,
own document. Oh, I see. Oh, goodness. There they are. I see.
So.
Oh, we could get. How hard is it to steal an entire auto carriage?
Oh shit.
Appliances, music box.
The difficulty of acquiring each item will depend on both its cost and its size.
You have these prices in gold. Is that supposed to be silver, or are those actual gold pieces
that gold?
converted?
They are
These
actual
prices?
pieces prices.
Oof.
Okay. Yikes.
That's expensive. That's some expensive stuff.
Some of them are. Yeah.
Holy shit. Some of this stuff is insanely expensive. It's like, oh man, that'd be useful. No, it won't.
Oh, goggles of multi-lens? Oh,
Yeah, that's just like, oh, that
$6,000
sounds.
over?
Oh my god. I don't think it's happening.
Um,
Oh goodness. Okay.
he whips out his Franz Lin pamphlet for y'all to be looking at.
What
Yeah.
the hell, yeah.
Seraphina has no interest in anything. She doesn't even take it. She is straight up leaning against her chair, arms crossed. She understands that he's just an underling, but
He's just a part of the machine, man.
There
Right.
is nobody in Griffin who is not performing labor for one of their oppressors at this juncture.
right. And no, and that's why she hasn't said anything, because she's trying to learn from Apollinaire and Roderick not to say murderous things to people who may not deserve it.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag growth.
Barely.
Do you think this? And she's gonna point at the Shatterball Slumber. Do you think we could use this to put our friend, looking back and forth, to sleep?
Is it quite possible?
That could be a pretty good idea.
I was also thinking that those shatterballs that have the choking gas. Perhaps some of those, if we have some of those masks, that could prevent us from suffering such effects.
Those look kind of expensive.
Everything here looks kind of expensive. I don't think there is anything that is not expensive.
How much is one of them rice steamer things? The ones that you put the rice in.
You said a rice steamer thing?
He's asking for a rice cooker?
I have
It's
that
got
listed.
appliances on there, and the food
Yeah.
here's atrocious. You can make anything good with a rice cooker, okay? It would be the
We'll
most
put that
useful
on
thing.
the.
They got a
We'll
crock
put
pot.
that on the. It says. It says 25 to 500, I believe, or 25 to 200. We'll go ahead and mark that at 25.
500. That better be the best rice cooker ever. If it's a 500 gold piece rice cooker.
500 would be like large appliances.
Oh, I want an industrial sized rice cooker. Okay.
It's
So-
like I want my rice cooker to look like I'm doing laundry.
What was it, a 25 gold piece with the 1.5 times cost comes out to what, like almost over 40 gold pieces worth?
37.5. So 375 gold pieces or silver pieces.
375
That's a
silver.
couple. Yeah, 375 silver. That's a couple. That's a few bucks. So I don't know. Those are some things I thought, but it would be quite expensive.
I like this one, and she's gonna point at the timepiece. It could help us know when to go places at the right time.
I will point out that timepieces can be acquired like from the Franz Lid store.
Without having to like have them be smuggled.
Yeah. So you can get that.
Right
all of
here.
this stuff we bought. Couldn't we technically buy all this stuff from
anything under mundane can be just picked up from the front.
Combat stuff specifically? Is that a little more touchy?
They're not out there selling, rotating crossbows and shatterballs at the Franz Lund store.
Right.
Ooh, no fun.
Actually, yeah, I would actually say so. If not the choking ones, I'd actually say put in for 2 of the fog shatterballs though, at least.
Wait.
So those would come out to only 30 gold. So 200 from 200 silver to 300 silver. So 600 silver for 2 of them for a nice little ninja vanish.
I can't cast fog cloud.
That counts spell slot though.
Mm-hmm.
These would be spell slotless.
Also,
I only have 2 spell slots and cannot cast fog cloud.
Imagine. Couldn't be
I
me.
also get mine back on a short rest, so
I get some back.
also don't forget the Shatterball Fog Cloud is not concentration.
Non-concentration, non-spell slot cost. That's what I would request from him. I think that's all I'm gonna ask for him from him for now is two of the fog cloud or the fog shatterballs.
I think
That-
slumber could be useful.
So 2 fogs and a slumber.
2 fogs in a slumber.
I would agree with that.
The diffusion shatterballs. This is a simple first order. Very well. I will let our mutual friends know once I have acquired them.
What?
He just kind of nods. Anything else?
I'll get another one of those slumber ones too, just in case.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I had something in my voice here.
Very well. Awkwardly nods a couple times and then backs out the door.
Wait, where is your store?
The Franzlin store is a pretty well-known location, so
Is it like the IKEA of Griffin?
more or less.
Nice.
Boy.
You go in. It's a maze. They serve food inside. It's weird place.
Oh, would he be able to get a hold of like cheap steel plates? I'm just grasping for straws to actual get resources to make myself full plate armor because it's over 10,000 silver.
Right. Getting him to steal it would probably not be a cost-efficient way to do so
Right.
at all.
Right.
What if we get you a set of plate armor that just without like all the leather bits? That should knock off, like a few copper.
Oh boy. This guy's like, hey, I'm gonna steal you some stuff for a lot more money. Like, oh well, no thanks. Could you show us where it's at and we can just go steal it
We'll
ourselves?
steal
We
it
don't
for
care
free.
about being wanted individuals.
Anyway,
Gaia, go follow that guy so we can see where to steal stuff.
This is basically
Well-
a man who is doing this as a favor for
Yeah.
Valentine and charging out the ass for such a favor.
we'll keep track of him on our DoorDash order.
Yeah.
See how he does.
As he's leaving, Seraphina messages Apollinaire and goes, "Aren't you proud of me? I didn't even threaten him once."
You did very well. Yes, I could tell that you're a little stressed out. Yes.
Not stressed, just angry.
Anger is its own kind of stress. So it is better to just spend as little time angry as possible. Your hair will go gray.
I'm magical. That's fine.
As it is what everybody says, and yet, sure enough, time comes for us all.
Fair.
All right. So, is our plan for the day? Are we going to see if we can perhaps wander around, find if there is any loose lips with information about his comings and goings and things he does for fun, and perhaps put eyes on his residence?
I think we should go get that time thingy and the thing that Roderick wants. Maybe there might be somebody important at the store.
Perhaps that is an activity for the evening. On their way back.
How will we know what time it is?
All right.
Okay,
So
we can
Oh my
acquire you a
gosh.
timepiece.
what is the immediate plan moving forward?
You know what? I think we should just go out as a group. You know, if we're going to be revolutionizing the city, right? I'm just going to have to get used to being outside.
Right.
Well, my plan, friends, is to return the map that I stole and return the map that I borrowed, and then also go to the whorehouse.
And just ask to see if he was a regular patron.
I'm about to roll a couple dice, folks. High or low?
Who are you rolling them for? I guess.
Y'all.
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 High would be my vote.
I'm gonna get outvoted all anyway.
Probably.
So
Yeah. That's I was trying to help you there. That's why I asked who it was
No,
for.
so here's
If
we got
one is-
4 of y'all. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna roll 2 dice. First one's gonna be for whose call it is.
We
The
gotta
second
make
one will
it
be-
fair.
If there is a dispute, if it is not all high, I'll be rolling to see whose vote goes.
There we go.
Is it 3 high and 1 low, or are you
Fair
all
and
saying high?
balanced. Say roll for it.
I would vote low, but again,
Alright.
there's three
So
there's
if the
3
D4
highs and 1.
If the D4 lands on a 3, we're going low. It did in fact land on 3.
Right, low it is.
Better be good.
It's 10 million.
On a D100. All right. So, what were y'all doing? You were going to return
Seraphina
maps,
is going to yeah.
both legitimate and illegitimate maps. What are the rest of y'all doing? Are y'all going out together like you were saying as a group, or are y'all going to be divide and conquer? How are y'all approaching this?
There was an attempted assassination one of the last times we didn't go somewhere together. And there is only a matter of time until, our descriptions make it back here anyway, and we don't know when that's going to be. So,
Are you all coming to the
yeah, we are all going to
the pleasure house with me?
Evidently so. It is going to be
I've
very
never been to
uncomfortable.
one. It sounds like a fun place.
How do those places work? Do they charge you like at the door, or is it like once you're inside?
It's a cocktail challenge.
I think Seraphina messages Apollinaire and goes, I don't want to have to explain sex work to Roderick or Gaia. Help me.
That's what
I mean,
I've
Roderick probably
this is
understands
a
the
topic I've had
concept,
to
at
breach
least.
with entirely too many individuals as they got to around that age. Probably about 12 actually sounds pretty accurate.
You're gonna give Roderick the birds and the bees?
I'm not gonna say there's gonna be no mention of birds nor bees. That's not an effective way to explain sex.
Lord.
That's what leads to misconceptions and confusion for kids. Clinical.
Harass.
That
and
being
rob.
said,
Oh my
so
god.
are
That's
y'all-
what we're
does that
doing
mean
on the
you're all
walk over.
traveling
I'm
together?
explaining.
Oh, all
I'll
right.
explain it
So
to 'em as we go.
on the
I
way
mean-
to the map store.
Yep.
Roderick, you already knew all this, I'm guessing, because while you are only 12, it was 12 starting at an adult level of maturity and awareness. So
Well, that and I understand the way that the human and other species bodies work at
Right,
like
yeah.
an instinctual level.
So the awkward part for you is probably the fact that he's trying to explain it to you.
Yeah.
Gaia,
This
speak for
stopped
yourself.
being
I'll let
awkward
you,
for me after like 10 different kids. Like you just get them all in like a small like classroom like semicircle. You're like, all right.
Gaia's lived in the woods, so she has a understanding of how things.
All right. So the least informative and most awkward.
Well, it was
the
stages. First, it was
happens.
explaining of just like sex and stuff in general, and then we moved on to the concept of brothels and what their function and everything was.
Right.
And now we
I'm
have reached
clicking my
our-
slideshow, dude. Like you can't
wait.
just skip to the middle.
He waits for him to explain everything, and he just goes,
Yeah, I got all that. I just wanted to know if I don't got those bits, so do I have to pay to get in?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No.
Awesome.
Y'all
They
are
might
being
they might be
photography.
kind of irritated at your general presence. So.
Are y'all waiting outside while Serafina goes in to return?
Messing with the map guy.
Please don't make me interact with him for so long.
Just sit there, throw the maps at him and run away.
"Have you told anyone that you stole this shit?"
No.
She's like, I'm returning these maps I borrowed. Okay. Sure.
Make me a stealth check, Serafina.
Oh, I'm very good at that. Thank God.
Now roll a d100.
19.
You go in with 2 maps. You come out with no maps.
Huzzah.
Amazing.
30 minutes later.
No, real quick.
Oh, no.
No.
Throw them. Yeah.
It is probably like a solid 10 minutes, though.
This is taking here a very long
Your saving grace is there was another customer in there.
time. On and off on the other person.
Amazing.
You just get the please help me look from some young woman who is there to get like a decorative piece for her household.
That's too bad.
And I give her the face of that's
Oh.
your problem and just dip.
You once saw the same look on the face of like a white-tailed deer as like a wolf was bearing down on it.
That is tragic.
Hashtag panic. But yeah, y'all, you make it out. Sans maps. Nice and returned. One openly, one not so openly. Slipped back on in there.
You didn't even notice. Come on. Not a big deal. Now we get to take a family trip to a brothel. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna look specifically at Gaia. Don't
Yes.
go wandering around, barging into rooms, just in general. Closed door or open door, just stay in the hallway. Unless we are specifically invited in, or Serafina thinks that we need to enter to speak to anybody who works within the establishment.
Okay.
Okay? Just like,
Oh, I mean, in
look, I want you to
general,
look in my eyes and say, okay.
it's always polite to knock anyway, so
That is true.
at the very least.
So, question. Are you going to an upscale brothel or a more mundane brothel?
In my head, Serafina has played at one of the like upscale places where it's
There is one. It's called the Carnation.
okay. Yeah. So she's played at the Carnation, and like I'm assuming there's like a back door kind of thing where they bring in the catering, and that's where the entertainment comes in to like tune their
Servants,
instruments, and yep. And so that's where I will lead my companions here, and just knock on the door.
Well, there is a. You don't get the chance to knock because there are large burly gentlemen at the door to the back. Influences around front. And then, like, squints at the incredibly odd collection of individuals in front of
Good
him.
day.
Hi. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you. And such wonderful protection for this, like, very prestigious establishment.
He looks unfazed by the flattery.
That's fine. I'm here to actually work out a new contract for the upcoming season to play for the Carnation. So this is all business. My companions here, one of them is my bodyguard, and two of them help me with set design and backup music. So they're just here because they're recently hired, and I'd like them to also get used to learning how to act appropriately in an establishment like this.
That is very nice. The influence is at the front.
God damn it. This guy said, I don't get fucking paid to make exceptions. Get the fuck out of here.
Fine. All right. And I walk
Right.
away.
As you're walking away, like, some person else is getting yelled at. You're not alone. Like, get away! This is not a place for you to hang out or to sleep.
So,
I
dedicated to their job.
yes.
Rules. Rules are rules.
Yes, but I was trying to make us not be obvious because I'm sorry to say that the four of us are not normal patrons of this establishment, and
I mean, if
If it's gonna be an issue, we could just sit outside. I mean, you can go in by yourself. I'm not gonna.
Which will be close by if there is a problem.
okay, I can go in by myself. I can send a message if I'm in danger. I also have my magic, so I can always just put people to sleep. It'll be fine.
Fucking side of the building just explodes like 10 minutes later.
Put people to sleep forever.
Shatter! Wow!
I cast Shatter on Detritus once, and
I'm not saying you're shattering people. I'm saying you're shattering like a wall for like an escape route, because that'd be cool.
yeah.
So, who's going in and who's not? And for the ones that are not, where are you going to be waiting? Remind y'all are in the district that is going to be a lot like this. So the Ruby district is primarily smoking houses, brothels, spas, massage parlors.
all the things that I need.
Yep. All
All
of the
being
things that
of
you-
flesh and blood.
There are private contractors on the street, and entrepreneurial salesmen as well.
Gaia will cast invisibility on herself and just say, "But I will I'll go in with you, and now nobody can see me, so I won't be noticeable, and you'll have backup."
Are you just casting it right there in the street?
Yes.
What are the components of invisibility?
Can we
It is
hide her?
verbal, somatic, and what is the M again? Material.
Material.
Yeah.
So you're over there doing like
Fucking doing the electric slide to cast a spell and throwing some confetti in the air before vanishing.
God.
be in the alley, like on the way to the front. We're talking about it. Just kind
That's Roderick's response.
I rolled 3 again, so now we're gonna do high or low again.
High.
But it's gonna be low. It already rolled the 3, therefore it's going to Kylie, therefore it's low.
man, you're assuming she may convert one day.
Well, she is free to let me know until such time. If that
Oh,
D4
I
hits the
see.
3, it's low.
So we have a 25% chance.
You see a man who's like, 30 feet away, just kind of leaning against a wall, holding a bottle. What the hell was that?
So
little girl just
it is
disappeared.
it is 10 in the morning.
You were in Carnival in the Ruby District.
Yeah.
Seraphina just ignores him. He's of non-consequence. And starts walking around the building to go to the front.
That's actually the guy. That's him right there.
He looks at the bottle a few times and then kind of moves across the street from y'all, but keeps watching.
Good day. I heard that there's been a lash of people putting drugs within the liquor around here. Be careful.
So, Roderick and Apollinaire, what are y'all going to be doing while Seraphina and Gaia go inside?
Keeping an eye on the rooftops.
Loitering.
Loitering. All right.
And yeah, watching out for strange cloaked individuals with crossbows.
Are y'all like across the street, right outside the door? Where are you going to be?
Are there guards at the front door as well?
Yes. I mean, guard is a strong word. They are bouncers. They're not like armed and armored. They have like a billy club.
Yeah, but they could like chuck you 30 feet across a room because they're huge.
They are jacked to shit back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gonna stay inconspicuous across the street or something.
Noted.
Loiter.
You do not get told to fuck off by the bouncers, since you are not in front of the entrance. Seraphina and Gaia. Although I guess this only applies to Seraphina since Gaia is invisible. Seraphina, you walk over. Welcome to the Carnation, young lady. Do you have any weapons you would like to declare?
I have no weapons on me, good sir.
Very well. He pats you down. Are you concealing any weapons?
No, I have my lyre on me, but I did not bring my.
You don't have like a dagger hidden anywhere or anything like that. Okay, yeah.
No.
You just get a quick pat down and welcome. Opens the door and you are free to go in.
I walk in and can I make the assumption that if I've worked here before that I know where the
Yeah, sure. It's
office
not
is?
It is not a complex layout. So when you walk in, there's like a little bit of like, it's not like an antechamber, but there is like an entrance area where if you did have any weapons to declare, you could check them here, or if you have any additional jackets, like a coat check, basically.
Yeah, like a foyer, yeah.
And then beyond that is a large lounge area where it seems most of the employees are putting themselves on display, flirting. The prospective clients can flirt. There is a bar that sells wildly overpriced cocktails and drinks to encourage people. There is a musician actively playing while you are there, keeping a very laid-back, fun kind of mood. The lighting is dim, but not so dim as to be erotic in its own right. Just a comforting kind of low light, with the upstairs stairway leading to the work area more towards the back. If you go to the right of the bar is where the more administrative rooms would be, the kitchens, the storage rooms, and the office, as well as the kind of dressing room for the entertainment.
Okay. Seraphina is ignoring literally everything that's going on and just walks straight to the office.
Not a bouncer, but someone who is clearly associated with the Carnation. A younger woman just, I'm so sorry, that is for the matron and his other staff.
Right. So, I'm sure that you are the one who's going to be able to help me here. I tried to go around back so that I could make an appointment with the matron so that I could set up this season's schedule. Because I am a bard, like, indicating to my instrument. I've worked here before. I know what I'm doing. I was hoping to get onto the rotation, and the gentleman out back informed me that I had to make my way through the establishment, which I know is incredibly inappropriate and not professional, but what choice did I have?
No, this is okay. You speak to me. I will go get the matron, and I'm sure she will take you up to her office for a discussion.
Wonderful. I will stay right here.
Wait right here. Have a drink. And the bartender comes over and, what will you be having, madame?
I will have a water, thank you.
Very well. Goes back, pours you a glass of water, and provides it to you while the other young lady goes back into the staff entrance. She does come back with a older, luxuriously dressed, but not like gaudily so. She is dressed exquisitely and gracefully in the way that the women who dress gaudily are attempting to look like. Just the right amount of decoration, just the right amount of layered silks. And she holds herself with a ironclad confidence. Young lady, I have been told you wish to speak with me regarding performance.
Yes, I would love to.
She
Yeah.
just kind of gestures towards the back. We have many young professionals coming to play here, but it is refreshing to see a young lady who wishes to be seen here. While it entices the guests to have a pretty one such as yourself providing their music, it is most often the male performers who wish to provide their services here. And her facial expression tells you everything you need to know about her opinion about those type of performers.
Seraphina nods affirmatively and goes, yes, we do have very specific opinions about those professionals.
They
up
do
at
not
the
wish to perform,
college.
they wish to steal a free glance.
Right. I have worked here in the past, and I was just wondering if I could get on the roster again.
Yeah, well, welcome back.
Thank you.
She opens the door and gestures for you to go in. It is a very well-decorated library full of like polished hardwoods, a desk, as well as several like guest seating areas.
Mhm.
Just take a chair, whichever one you like.
I sit down and first I message Gaia and go, try to see if you can see a list of people who patron this place.
Gaia, are you going up or are you going to stay downstairs? What have you been doing?
Gaia would be almost on Seraphina's coattails.
Gotcha.
If it wasn't noticeable, she would be actively holding on. But yeah, just as close as possible without being noticeable.
Gotcha. So yeah, you are there in the room. The matron shuts the door, and then goes to take a seat behind the large hardwood desk. Pours herself a glass of wine, gestures at an additional glass. Would you like a drink?
I will partake in a little. I do have class this afternoon, and I want to
Understandable,
be
understandable.
professional. Yes.
She's not exactly chugging her own.
Right.
And just kind of leans back, holding her glass like almost more of an extension of her jewelry and decorations.
Right.
So, you wish to perform? You say I've performed here before.
Mhm.
Give me a sample of your talents.
So I unhook my lyre and I just to start and to sort of match the vibe that the individual was playing, and then start just like change based off of different moods. It's like, do you want more fun dancing? Do you want it to be chill? Like, try to provide a variation of music for her to hear.
So I want you to make me both a performance with dexterity and a performance with wisdom.
Okay.
The dexterity showing your technical skill, the wisdom showing your ability to adapt to the vibe, as it were.
Okay. Okay. So the first one's a nat 20.
Holy God. Okay. Your technical skill is being put on full
Go off.
display.
And then my second one, you said wisdom plus what?
Proficiency, because you are proficient with your instrument, I would assume.
Right. So that one is going to be 17, 18, 19, 20. And wisdom is 21.
Brilliant. Both of her eyebrows raise continuously throughout your performance. She says, there's a period of silence when you are done. She just kind of looks down at her wine glass and that was artwork.
I've been doing
Go
this
on.
for a very long time.
I am most interested in having you perform here. When is your availability and what are your rates?
I can
And
start...
before you say your rates, be aware we do encourage patrons to tip in addition to your rates.
I encourage, or I currently am able to start as early as tomorrow. And as for my rates, what are the? I'm sure that the Bardic College has a standard, like internship rate. If that makes sense. Am I misremembering something like that?
To have a non-graduate perform is usually about 20 silver a night.
Yeah, I was like, it's not a whole lot. So I'll tell her the non-graduate rate.
20 silver. Are you sure?
So I'm not yet a graduate of the college.
Is that talent?
I did get accelerated. If that encourages you at all.
So here is what we are going to do. I will put you on immediately, and we are going to pay you 30 silver.
Oh my goodness. You honestly don't have to do that. And I'm trying to encourage Gaia to I'm trying to distract this woman for her to do some sneaking. This is an me trying to...
Yeah. Gaia, what are you doing while this negotiation of sorts is going on?
Yeah, during the music playing, Gaia would try to do her best sneaking about to try to look at what's on the desk, if anything is kind of more of an illicit nature, or like a list of people's names.
I'm not going to roll the d4 because it is just you. Let's see what is out and about.
Oh, a piece of paper with this guy's name on it. Perfect.
So there are... this is an incredibly tidy office. There's not spreads of paper all across. You do see various cases and not a filing cabinet, but drawers intended for paperwork. There is a little bit out on the desk, though. You see a sheet that seems to be listing contractors and orders, basically non-employee expenses, exterior expenses for the month to date. And you also see a couple notifications of big name clients who intend to rent out not the entire Carnation, but the
party room.
Yeah, sort of the presidential suite. It's a large on the top floor. This is a 3-story building.
Okay.
You do not see Spiros listed on that page, but that is only, again, month to date.
For the expenses sheet, is there anything, any noticeable spikes in expenses recently?
None of it is. Nothing seems to stand out in particular. These are all very high costs because this is kind of a bougie location. Their liquor costs are high. Their food costs are all like fresh caught fish, freshly butchered meats, the more high quality vegetables from every crop. And they spend considerably on like guards and or not guards, but like the bouncers are all from an exterior organization that provides security for such things. Okay. But there's nothing that immediately draws your eye as being out of the ordinary. Serafina, she asks, you said as early as tomorrow. She said, so shall we put you on for tomorrow? Do you have a preferred time slot?
I do have class. So let's say like early evening that I can start. And yes.
Feel. Take this as just a token of goodwill. I look forward to having you. Is this scheduled official?
I do believe. I can't do every night, but I can do maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
For you, darling, I will clear the schedule at the film. She slides a golden coin across the table. Just a little tip to get you started.
Okay. My hope is during this exchange that Gaia, do you message me that you haven't gotten anything yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gaia, just because she has telepathy, would just be kind of running a constant,
stream
almost
of
distracting stream.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I think so. If you haven't gotten anything immediately, I think when the woman places the coin in my hand, I go, would you mind taking me on a tour of this like just to reacquaint myself with the establishment? It has been several months, and as an artist, I do like to sort of get the artistic vibe back of the establishments that that I'm playing at.
Of course. There's
Okay.
no trouble, Tim.
Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to leave my instrument in the office. And so when she takes me on this tour, Gaia can do a more thorough search, and then I have an excuse to go back into that room because, oh my gosh, I left my child in the office.
That makes sense. Yeah. So she takes you on a tour. Will take about 15 minutes. She introduces you to some of the girls that primarily run things in the lounge. They're not so much the upstairs working girls.
Right.
You are introduced to the bartender. You're given a couple minutes of whichever instrumentalist is currently playing. They show you where the dressing rooms would be. The full tour, like you said.
Right.
The only place you are not taken is to the second floor, although she does briefly show you the third floor because instrumentalists do play for private parties.
Mm-hmm. And I specifically, when we get to the third floor, I go, I always dream of playing up in this beautiful place. So if you ever have a party for like, please think of me.
Of course. Of course. For a talent such as yours, this room is probably where you truly belong.
Wonderful.
Sorry, you rolled a nat 20. That's how it's going to keep going.
I know, it's fine. I want Gaia to be able to like do some more digging through this office.
Yep. So while all of that is going on, Gaia, what specifically are you looking for before we roll this check?
Lists of clients and possibly anything that might be kind of ciphered.
So just as a heads up, The only clients that would be listed would be those renting the third floor suite. So, and you can basically, since you already have the current month to date out on the desk, you can rifle through previous months to date. And then I suppose you could also rifle through personal notes. So make me your investigation check.
I have a mechanics question.
Okay.
It's concerning my cats. When I go invisible, do my cats just become invisible as well, and I can just see them?
Are your cats familiars, or are they part of the other thing?
They're part of the other thing.
Then yes.
Okay. Then, Gaia would say, Hex, Charm, stop staring at that wall. Help me look. And use borrowed eyes to gain advantage.
Noted.
Didn't help me too much. 16.
Every little bit counts. There's a shocking array of individuals that have hired out the third floor suite of the Carnation. Everything from several of the other governors to high-profile merchants, guild leaders, but not Spiros.
And nothing in the notes.
No, nothing in the notes. It is let's see what kind of stuff you do find here. Nothing more than gossip. I mean, nothing that would serve you as anything more than gossip.
Well, Hex Charm didn't find anything? Oh. Well, I
Actually, roll me a d20.
Big D20 time.
We're going to give you a little bit of a chance for a gambit.
11.
11. There is a single slip of paper tucked away in the notes for not the third floor suite, but for a private room rental. There is, it seems to be, other than the fact that it is hidden away in her personal notes drawer, which is locked, however, there was a key available. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much information to include in this. It is titled if I can grab the there we go. So on other than the fact that it is a folded up piece of paper and in her personal notes drawer, the back of it has the word Rokides written on it. And Other than that, the private room rental looks identical to any of the others that you saw while going through the main area. But the section where the preferred courtesan, I suppose, or whatever, would be listed, doesn't have a particular name, and it also doesn't just say any, it's blank.
Guy will look at it. Remember the best that she can, what's on the card, and then put it back where she found it. And just try to tidy up anything that's kind of out of place from what she dug through.
Gotcha. Easily done. Everything here is incredibly organized, so taking it out, looking, putting it back for any of the stuff you looked at was a simple affair. If you have nothing else you would like to search through, Seraphina, your tour is concluded. You express you need to go back and retrieve your instrument that you left in her office. No problem. You're walked back, given the opportunity to retrieve your instrument, and then depart or linger as you so desire.
As soon as I get the feeling that that Gaia is next to me, I give the woman. You didn't give me her name.
Shit.
She paid. She tipped me a whole gold piece. I need to be able to like thank her properly.
Hell yeah.
Madame Blanchett.
Okay. Madame.
And so I curtsy deeply and go, "Thank you, Madame Blanchett. I will see you tomorrow." And like just exit out the door. And again, not paying attention to the sex workers or the bartender. Just like brain like autopilot out the door.
And she's off.
Before we leave, you get a message from Gaia, and you feel 4 coins slip into your hand, and she'll just say, you said something about looking and not paying. Can you give this to those 2 pretty ladies over there? I looked at them, but nothing inappropriate. Just I looked at them, and I do not want to be bad and not pay them. But also I am invisible, so it may be a little strange for them.
Can I do a sleight of hand check to like drop it in the proverbial tip jar? Like, I don't know how to. I don't know
There's
how
not
I'm
a tip
gonna.
jar. The working women are paid individually.
Just gotta give him a wink and.
Oh, no.
You can tell them it is from your friend.
Honey.
Secret admirers. Hit him with the
This is really
milady.
really uncomfortable with all of this. So Seraphina just pauses and takes the coins that Gaia has handed me, and I gently, like, I take the hands of the 2 women that Gaia has indicated, and I just go, "You're doing a lovely job, ladies," and like press them into her hands and then go and leave. And
You get flirtatious thank yous and fluttering waves as you depart. Come back soon.
and I leave.
I love you so much right now, Chris. That was hilarious.
Oh God.
So you depart looking in and out of character, super uncomfortable.
Out of character, it's fine. I grew up in Nevada. It's fine. It's just a way of life. Seraphina.
In character, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that is the state of being that Apollinaire and Roderick see her as she departs, and much less visibly Gaia. There's been a whole lot of absolutely nothing happening going on out here. It has been about a half hour between the performance and the tour.
Yeah.
So
I walk out quickly, sort of indicate for us to leave and go, I apologize that took so long, but we're in, and we can, once Gaia gets out of invisibility, we can then discuss what she found, because I don't know what she found, but apparently I have a job, so if we need more money...
Gainful employment is a good thing to have secured, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You do not look very happy about it.
It's nice.
Gaia will just poof back into existence, dropping the concentration.
Oh, God.
yeah,
Disappearing and reappearing child friend.
drunk man was kind of half asleep, still like kind of watching the areas. There she is again.
Jiaoshu.
Gaia will
She's
stick her
been
tongue
here
out
the
at him.
entire time.
Just,
I need to avoid the opium. Just kind of like walks
That
back
do
down
it,
the
yes.
street.
He may actually be hallucinating. We're just making it worse. We're exacerbating the problem.
Man ain't high on opium right now.
but
Do we walk and talk?
Yeah, walking
Gaia is noticeably flushed.
Sapasi.
Oh shit.
But thank you.
Anything to help a friend.
So, was there anything, was there evidence of his attendance or anything like that?
Oh, oh yes. So there, all of the council members, or a lot of them, they go there. But
Members of our council or the governors?
Governing council.
Gotcha.
But there wasn't anything on him. But I know when my pauses, my boss would want to hide something. She wouldn't always put what she was trying to hide into her notes or letters. And sometimes that's kind of it made it a little bit more obvious what she was trying to hide.
Right. And they were all on sale at different times or at the same time?
Different times. All of it seemed going to that top floor.
Different times.
You did see one member of the Order of the Dawn, Theobald Mazzanti.
I'll save that for later. But I did find it a card that had something on the back of it, almost
Nope.
like it was being marked as special, because all the other ones didn't have that. And all the other ones were filled out completely, even if somebody didn't want somebody specific, it would say that. And this one, it was blank.
Also, was in the wrong drawer. They're like all the business drawers, and this was in her personal notes drawer. And I guess I should have clarified when I said it. The person that y'all have been assigned to assassinate is Spiros Rokides. And this had the word Rokides on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Row kitties.
But even better. It
Thank you.
One step ahead of y'all.
All right.
So his card, it was blank and in its own place.
There was nothing but his name. What's it on the card?
Just his last.
It had date, payment paid in full, the room number, had all of the information that the others would have filled out, except the contractor space was left blank.
Just blank. What was the date on it?
A few months ago.
A few months ago. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that is weird. Most definitely. But if it was months ago, that does not indicate a habit.
But it feels weird. Why would she put it in its own drawer by itself, locked?
How long?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, how long has Spiros been in Griffin? He got brought in like a year ago, right? He got brought in like around the time. Or has he been here the whole time?
He's been here for probably 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years.
So not like the entire period, but he has been here for a significant period of time.
It may be perhaps a rendezvous.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I was thinking is, does that date match up with any of the third story parties?
Doesn't
Okay.
matter. Roll me a wisdom check, guy. Wisdom, that's it. Nothing else.
-4.
13.
13. See if you would have thought to check this.
Wait. Wait. I do get advantage on wisdom checks for the next hour because of burrowed eyes. Oh no, perception. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Keep
I'm
going.
pretty sure that's perception. But it's okay. Because you happen to remember, as she's asking you that it very explicitly does not fall on any dates of the meetings.
No, I
Like-
do not think they matched up.
There's a significant gap.
Okay.
Like this was for like all the most of the rentals for the third floor suite were all like, weekend days or maybe on like celebrations and festivals, but this was on like an average working day, like in the
Okay.
middle of the day.
Okay. Middle of the day.
But I mean, if they were trying to do something sneaky, they wouldn't, necessarily write it down like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we rented out this room and killed 3 guys in it.
That is very specific.
Fair.
Got to document everything, all right?
Don't want to have a haunted brothel.
You know where
That'd
that
be
haunt
terrible.
comes from.
That'd be terrible or great. Could be like a thing. You'd be like haunted brothel.
Aside from that, I think Serafina just goes, well, we at least got something. May not be a lot.
Absolutely.
I might be able to ask some of the girls tomorrow because I will be working in the evening. This was, I guess, my only lead idea.
Right.
Do either of you have thoughts?
There is not anything that I'm able to think of right now. in regards to what that might mean. I mean, it seems clear that it is probably not. It's probably not coming there for the normal reasons, if I were to guess. But until we are able to think of or find out what that might be instead, I do not know what else we can do with that information.
I got two ideas. Libraries, places where you can get all kinds of information, and maybe some people have done some books on them, or some histories of, and stuff like that. And the other one is kind of the same idea, but just the other direction with, you know, if there's any type of like reporting papers.
Are there newspapers in Griffin?
Ah, the news.
I'd assume that if they got prosthetic magics, they have printing press magics.
Printing press magic, yo. Very
They don't
efficient.
have magic printing presses, but they do have regular ass printing presses.
Hell yeah.
Maybe some, you know, newspaper type. They probably have like knowledge of locals going ons and stuff. We could just ask one of those folks about.
Going through microfiche.
No, he just means literally asking a person at a news place, like, "Hey,
Heard
you
anything
know
weird?
about nobles and stuff?"
Right.
You know where I can
What's
find
the
some
scoop?
sailors?
the
Yeah,
gossip
essentially.
the gossip rag.
You know where sailors live? God.
Ideas, not good ones.
They are. I still think that it would be worth looking, knowing where he resides. You know, probably not our first option by breaking into a governor's house, but knowing where that is, and especially if we are able to find out when he leaves and where he is going, we know both points of exit and destination.
I would be happy to read through some of these newspapers and maybe even go talk to some of these reporters, Roderick. That's a great idea.
All right. Sure. Not the best with books though.
Says that
Roger, can you not
Fire.
lead?
Kind of looking around awkwardly, you know, for the obvious.
Is, if you find, we can get you like a holder that is made of metal, and you could put it.
I've got.
I've done that before, but
We'll put it on the holder, and then you can have a separate thing that you use to turn the pages.
Where are y'all heading to right now, by the way? Because you said y'all are walking and talking. To where are you walking?
Serafina was just walking, trying to get away from the carnation. So, I don't know. Apollinaire, where are you? Where do you think we should go?
I think that we should find this. I tell you, we should see where he lives. Have a look. Not too close, of course, but as far as I'm aware, there's nothing preventing people from wandering the streets of that part of the city. It is no crime.
The only
You could
place that
go-
is. Go ahead.
you could go invisible and just peek around and see what, you know, is in his secret places and stuff.
I cannot turn invisible now.
No, I'm talking about Guy.
Oh, okay, I see. This makes much more sense.
Yeah, the only place that is restricted access would be the Citadel itself.
Okay.
So yeah, so we could go onto these. The second layer is where the governor's houses and stuff. That's like the government and resident, like the government and where like the government's residential.
That is all of the like highest tier of luxurious housing.
It may look a little out of place, but
We're taking a
Tourists.
walkabout. It's fine.
yeah, we're taking a walkabout.
Is level 2 where the Bard's College is?
Yes, the Sorcerer's Academy is on the second tier.
Easy.
Yeah. So maybe I'm if people ask,
Yeah.
I'm taking my new friends to the college.
Besides the highest echelons of housing, that is where the Sosaurus Academy for Performance is, the Bardic Guild House, and the Franz Lin workshops themselves are.
Right. We can make a quick stop. Just fireball. Problem solved.
Yeah, I mean, if we could stop at the front lens place,
I think that is probably a bad idea.
well, they want to come talk to me, and
I don't think they want to talk to you.
the last place they're gonna expect me is on their front door, and maybe I could straighten them out a little bit.
Oh, Roderick.
I think that it is unlikely. For now,
Yes.
let us go look at the at this governor's residence.
House. Oh.
So
And,
y'all are heading up
see what
to
else is
the
to see.
second layer to look for
Layer
Spiros
number
Orchides' residence.
East.
Mhm.
Right, and it is as our noble insurgents are making their way, freedom fighters, making their way up to the second layer of the great city of Griffin, that we're going to go on break. So
Oh,
everyone
shit.
grab bite to eat, refill your water bottles or energy drinks or whatever it is, and we'll see you here shortly in 15 to 20 minutes. Don't go too far. See you guys shortly.
Bye.
And welcome back, everybody, to the second half of episode 6 of Blood and Silver. The first half, our adventuring party did some information digging at a local brothel, managing to find a note with the name of their quarry on it and not much else. They have now decided they're going to head up to the second layer where they're going to investigate the living arrangements of said quarry, and then they'll make a plan from there. So, adventuring party, as y'all travel through the layers, which are you traveling on foot or are you taking a rail car?
It'll take forever to get there on foot, right?
Rail car.
It'll be
Yeah.
quite a
I walk with a cane.
few-hour journey. Yeah.
No, we take the rail car. That makes sense.
All right. That'll be for the 4 of you, 2 silver.
My knees aren't what they used to be. I will pay these 2 silver. So we never
I
do so.
refuse.
Oof.
I
So you're
will
walking. The rest
pay
of you will
for
be there really
Gaia.
quickly. Yeah, y'all get on the rail car at the station, head up a couple of layers, park it. Y'all can see from the car itself on your way up, and especially once you get out, this is a nice place. All of the buildings, whether it is, business buildings, whether it's homes, whether it is one of the few shops, it's all exquisitely made. Carved from marble, a work of art, each and every building. The majority of the people here seem to be a mixture that were on the car with you, is what I mean. A mixture of like laborers that work in this area, maybe petitioners, a small handful of tourists, but not really many of the residents, as the wealth in this area is of the level that most of the residents will have their own private rail cars.
I see.
So, that being said, how do you go about locating Mr. Spiros Rokidis' home?
I don't know about you guys. I figured we'd just ask for directions.
Sure.
In a more roundabout manner. In the
Yes.
manner of tourists. In the broad sense of, excuse me, do you know where we might see the residences of the governors? I heard that they are most opulent and beautiful and just wonderful examples of art and the like.
I'm going to roll that d4 to see which direction this is going in.
He sinks a dagger in your chest.
Oh!
As an
That only does
individual
1d4 damage, you fool.
standing there, 1d4 plus 30. A lot of bonuses.
Still alive.
Anyway, yeah, there was a gentleman there who's like, oh, you would like a tour?
You know, so we are trying
I know
to
where
do
all
this
of the
in
governing
transition.
houses are. I will show them each to you. However, it is a silver.
I mean, if you could, it would be most useful if you could just tell us where they are. You know, we are going at at my pace, so just kind of wiggle the cane at him.
I am in no hurry.
Seraphina taps Apollinaire on the shoulder and goes, "Now, we should let this kind gentleman take us on this tour. A silver piece is nothing. Let's hear the information from him." And she messages him, "It'll be much easier and faster if we have this guy do this."
What?
You said this was just a guy?
Yeah, just a guy. He was standing at the station when y'all got off.
Choke slam him.
Oh. All right, we'll roll initiative.
Violence.
Roderick just goes,
All right, here's another silver. Just tell us where it's at. Really busy. Got a lot of stuff to do.
Really well.
I don't like
Wait.
you.
Where do you want?
Just where's the instances of the governors are?
Yep, I see it.
Which governor? So,
All of them.
a few.
All of them. I figure we may not make all of them today, but I would like to have destinations in mind.
Whatever. He will give you the address. Does anyone have something to write on? Because he's going to give you addresses for.
I'm gonna a dry erase marker and just write on Roderick. Here he is.
Seraphina has like school notebook, like a notebook in my pocket.
I definitely do not have paper with me.
So, yeah, you get the addresses to each of the governor's houses.
Sick, nasty.
Great.
Good job. 2 silver poorer for it, as a total.
He looks a little irritated. He trying to run his hustle. Y'all fucking him up.
We just gave him more money than he wanted.
I thought you gave him 1 silver. Anyway,
He got 2 silvers total.
so there you go. You now have a sheet of paper with all the addresses on.
Wonderful.
He goes back to trying to hustle other tourists.
Yeah, let him get them. Damn it, Bob! I live here. I guess we will set off then.
Yeah, wait.
Heading off to. Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking, we got these fox things now. We're probably gonna need like a Greek name when folks talk about us for saving the city and stuff, right? And that guy said that we were in the field and we're foxes, so we could just be field foxes. I don't know. It seemed like it rolled off the tongue to me. It's very, working class. I think Ona would approve.
I mean, is this like titles and things that they're supposed to be talked about? That's just more your field selfing. Does that sound like it would belong in song?
I could write something up for this. It'll take some time. My composing is not my specialty
We'll
in the
workshop.
Bard College. I'll have to workshop it.
We'll
but
workshop
yes,
it. It's a good base. We'll go from there.
Well, like foxes are cunning and stuff, and we're gonna be like taking these folks down and everything.
Cannot agree more, my dear Roderick.
As y'all head to the southwestern edge, which would be if you're facing the center of Griffin, this is the far left side of the second layer. Y'all pass many ornate mansions, and it is it's still a mansion, but the Rokides residence is notably more humble than some of the others. Not in its make, it is still of, exquisite craftsmanship, but less gold leaf. Only 3 stories instead of 4 or 5. Only 1 guest house instead of 2 or 3.
So humble.
Yeah, it is a notably smaller than the other ones that you pass on the way comparatively. Not than all of the mansions, but out of all the governor's mansions that you would have inevitably passed, it is the smallest.
Either that or Spears broke
And
away.
a little bit more out of the way as well.
All right. Well, I guess we're observing as non-weirdly as possible. Does appear to have like guards and stuff. Like, is it like fenced in and stuff like that?
Yes, and there are the guards are not wearing the uniform of soldiers of the governing council. They are wearing the Karathi.
Karathi stuff.
Karothite. Yeah, they are. And even they have clearly not meant for use off of horseback, but the guards are like almost as like a status symbol, holding cavalry lances.
Oh yeah, because that's their whole thing, right? So they're members of that. What are they, the Thunder Lances or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. So he has, and that's like they're like elite, like fighting force or whatever, right?
It's the most powerful portion of their military is their cavalry. Karoth is known for their cavalry, and the Thunder Lances is like their prime cavalry unit.
Gotcha. Okay. So some of their more experienced soldiers. You're muted, Serafina.
That's fine. I speak Karathi.
Hey.
So if there's, I mean, I suppose if there's anything that like, can I stand kind of? I mean, if this is like, think like Hollywood, where people are like gaping at like quote unquote celebrities' homes or whatever.
Not quite to that degree. Like I said, it was only a few of the tourists, just because in a world like Velderos, traveling for tourism is much more expensive and time consuming.
Right.
But it is, passing merchants or lesser nobility, do want to take, a look-see at some of the more interesting stuff in the legendary city of Griffin.
Okay.
So.
Because what I would like to do is sort of, without being like obvious, try to position myself to see if I can overhear anything, to see if like they're, when you're guarding things, you gossip, and if nobody else speaks Karathi.
Not these guys.
Okay.
They are
Damn.
ironclad, like.
Dang it.
You're like the Queen's Guard.
Damn near. They're not doing the whole like no blinking thing, but they are.
They got big
business.
fluffy hats.
They are.
Okay. No, that's fine. I was just, it's like, this thing.
That is totally reasonable. Just for these individuals specifically, they are silent and unmoving.
They actually don't have tongues.
No. None to speak.
All right.
Okay.
For where this is positioned, like street-wise, is there like streets that go all the way around the residence, or is it just like one street? It's like up against, areas that would not be accessible, without being like, hey, what the fuck are you doing back there?
There's probably 2 or 3, I guess, main like horizontal roads on each layer, and this is on one of them.
Gotcha. So there wouldn't be a way to like non-sketchily look at the back.
The back is the final like rearmost street. Behind it and his property would be the wall leading up to the first layer.
So like his property, like his building is built into the wall?
No.
No. Okay.
It is.
So
just
there would
the
be
final
no
row of houses.
non-sketchy way to look at the back of the residence.
Not particularly.
Just send our invisible compatriot to go have a look-see. What could go
Which is
wrong?
currently visible, I believe.
I am currently visible.
With the Alexander.
I could go invisible and change into a flying cat.
That's
I would only feel good about that, Gaia, if we were able to properly hide you. You disappearing and reappearing in front of a drunk man near the Carnation is all fine and dandy. You disappearing in front of Karathi guards is probably not advisable.
How long does that feasibility last?
I would not know. I do not know the exact time, as I do not have a way to tell the time. But I would say about maybe an hour.
So we could simply go a little bit away.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Listen, I'll just go take a knee, and you can just go right on the other side of me. And I'll stand back up.
You'll tie
Won't
his
be
shoes.
there no more.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not
So never know.
all homes, by the way. Like, these people aren't wanting to rail car, half an hour every time they want to grab a bite to eat or go shopping. While this isn't the primary center of commerce, like, there's a few shops and eating houses. And
There's
stuff.
a Starbucks across from his
a particularly
mansion.
upscale, like, boarding house kind of thing.
I see. I believe that is our only option for getting a better look at the back and such things. DM, just from the front, about how many guards can we spot?
You're muted.
Probably about 12. Two pairs on the front gate, 2 at the front door, and several wandering, like, patrols.
Gotcha. Do the like windows and stuff appear to be like barred, or does this appear to be mostly like he lives here, or is it like defensible?
It's people live here. Yeah,
People live here, so not like barred windows and stuff. So we could pretty feasibly be like, yeah, we're just gonna bust in.
12 people's a pretty big buffer.
That's a lot of dudes.
Because, if there's 12 people now, then that means that there's probably at least 12 people on another shift.
And no city guards.
Right. So there's probably
Yeah.
like a guardhouse somewhere around back or something like that.
Or that like guest house is not a guest house.
Right.
It is a barracks.
No, those are the 12 that y'all can see from your
that we can
current
see
position.
from the front.
Right.
Great. So there's like even more behind it. So like 20.
Yeah,
Lunch
fly
it.
around the back. It's just a brigade, just on full
Just hanging
parade
out.
rest.
There's an infantry column immediately in the backyard.
Okay.
They're
crap.
having they're grilling out back there, having a nice time.
Fireball.
I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe busting this dude's house, not a good idea. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, let's.
Like
It just set it on fire and have him come to us.
I didn't know Milo was in this campaign.
how? Gotta get to the house.
Invisible person answers all the questions.
Does it though? Anyway, for the time being, do we wish to risk further investigation of this house, or do we want to leave it as like a last resort?
I mean, I do not see how it could hurt to fly over it.
If you are confident in your abilities. But undue risk is not necessary as well. So, and ill-advised. That's it.
Can I make a check to see if we can find like a corner where Roderick can lean against something and I can like hide
Yeah,
like
like
Gaia
body
under-
block.
Yeah.
You don't need to make a check for it. Like I said, there are alleys and stores and stuff.
Okay.
You might have to go like a 5-minute walk away or something to find a suitable one that people aren't, lounging near.
Okay.
But it is reasonable that you could find one.
Okay. So Yeah.
We'll go body block.
like I'm like holding out my cape, like trying to
Which is
adjust
very
it or
nice.
something. Like, yeah, custom.
I think you got something
Push her all
down.
backwards. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
turns me back around.
It's like some mustard or something like a stain.
So, a few shenanigans later, and you have a invisible flying cat.
Amazing. And now we just wait.
All right, guy, don't get caught. For the love of God.
While we're doing this, Seraphina, like palms a pewter fox into Gaia's hand and goes, "Crush this if you need a little bit of extra help." And that's bardic inspiration.
Gaia will place it in her mouth.
Okay.
Cat
All
guy.
right. Gaia, you taking off?
Indeed.
All right.
What is
You see her
about
take off. You realize the fox didn't turn invisible with her. It's fine. It's
It's magic. It's magic.
I know. Yeah. So you take off. You do see, just immediately, as it is something that you had been discussing already, there are 4 more guards in the back.
Only 4 more.
2 roving patrols, 1 by the door, and 1 that seems to be standing on a balcony, kind of keeping an eye on things. Other than that, it looks like a rich people's house. There is a garden. There is a guest house that appears dark and unoccupied. You don't see anyone. Actually, hold on. Let's see. Through a window, you see a, young woman in her late 20s, early 30s, doing something inside. Little kid running around her. But that's about it. You don't see anything that stands out to you particularly.
Are there any good hiding places in the back?
Yeah, the garden's got some trees, some topiary. The only downside being there are patrols actively walking through it. But it's not like the garden is a bunch of knee-high things. No, it's like a walkable garden with some shading spots, like a little fish pond.
Okay.
Nice backyard.
All right. Report back.
Cat appears.
Wonderful.
Jade Fox clutched in her jaws. Or not Jade, Pewter.
Hang.
Gaia will relay the information to Apollinaire.
I guess I will relay the information to the rest of the party. So nothing too promising.
Alright. Well, it's a lot of fellas. I think if we try to tango with like 20 guys at once, we'll probably
Yeah,
have
sounds
a
like a
lot
bad
more
idea.
people coming after us, so maybe not at home.
Unless we can think of some ways that strategies that would draw the majority of them away. I think that would last resort.
Gaia, you said that you saw a woman and a child.
Yes. The second floor.
Interesting.
If he is here long term, it is quite possible that he brought his family.
Well, and proper women in this town need to have a hobby. So maybe she's taking lessons at the college. Maybe the child is taking lessons at the college.
Yes, it is possible.
We could kidnap one of them.
Well, I mean,
What?
not to hurt them,
No.
to encourage him to come out of his protected.
Well, you got a job working at a brothel, right?
Yes.
So you could be like, hey, I'm writing you a letter, Miss, governor's wife. Your hubby got me knocked up. And we need to discuss some things, right? And then maybe you could get inside and get some more information that way or something.
The mere thought of that makes Seraphina so nauseous.
I feel like that is
That is a choice, Roderick. That is a choice.
I hear it's something that happens frequently, like illegitimate nobles and stuff.
No, you're right. And I feel like if we find significant enough evidence that Spiro has visited the Carnation, that might be an excellent way to draw out Spiro, using that as a, I will tell your wife X, Y, and Z if you do not come and meet me. Going back to our blackmail situation.
Alright, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
you cannot speak.
I realize that we're sort of out in the open. I start directing everybody back to my rooms at the college so that there's at least like a little bit of
hell yeah.
private.
So yeah, that y'all get to the academy with little difficulty.
Yeah.
To the dorm.
Yeah. Just so that like we're not caught in the streets talking about various things.
Do you have a roommate in your dorm?
No.
We'll kick him out.
I mean, I can roll for it, but I feel like
no, you do not have a roommate.
Alright. Right, so.
Get weird looks though, like
Hello? Your campus is lovely.
yeah.
I'm just showing my friends around.
I apologize, madame, but no armed or armored individuals on the academy grounds.
This is simply my walking stick.
No, the big one in the plate armor.
Oh, Roderick is
This is my body,
completely
mate.
home
Come on,
harmless.
This I can't really do anything. I'm just gonna pull the plate down. I'm all bolted inside. This is just me.
Guards!
No. Seraphina casts suggestion on this person.
Holy shit! Bah!
Proceed.
Seraphina just like calmly takes this child or person's arms and like to the side. Full grown person. That's fine. Maybe not to Seraphina, but that's fine. We simply are going to go to my rooms for a little while. Roderick is harmless.
Double checking suggestion real quick just to see like how long it lasts.
It lasts like 24 hours. As long as they fail.
Up to 8 hours. Concentration up to 8
8
hours.
8 hours, my bad.
Okay, so you must be suggesting a course of action. What is the course of action you are suggesting?
Leave us be. I don't know how to word that of Roger.
Business as usual.
Yeah, business as usual.
Behave without change to your.
Go
Yeah.
down to
Yeah,
the pub
basically.
and have 6 pints.
Go watch
Fuck off
paint
for a little
dry.
while.
Oh. That is fine then. And then just turns around mid-sentence.
Great. And so at that I go, we need to move fast now.
Easily,
And
easily convinced young man.
Well, now that
Now that fella's gonna be like, yeah, this fucking evil Burning Man came here, and then
Roderick,
You're fine.
we're
It's
just
okay.
we're just gonna get to my dorm. Let's get to my dorm and we can talk.
Well, you mess with that guy's hand, and then they're gonna think it was me, and then I'm like a metal witch or something like that.
It's just one problem at a time.
One problem at a time. If anything, I will charm my way through this like I always do.
That sounds suspiciously like winging it.
Yes.
Alright, I just wanted to be sure.
Yep.
Alright, it is fine. It is okay. We are fine.
Without further ado, y'all do make it up to
Yeah.
your dorm. It is a small but comfortable, like think of it like a mid-grade hotel.
Alright. So we know that there is potentially something involving the governor at the coronation. We know that if either a frontal assault or an attempt to sneak in or break into his residence is foolhardy at best. And that is about it right now. So,
Yeah. I mean,
we should expand the base of what information we may possess. We may
Right.
require a little bit more digging.
I think that I should take my shift at the Carnation to see if I can get any information about Spiro, and if not about him, about the other governors, because that might prove helpful eventually.
Of course.
I think we should wait for that information from Michelle Dupont. And unless anybody else can think of where this man might frequent, I am unsure of what to do next. So we can sort of wait it out for the next couple of weeks to suss it out.
I mean, he is a military man. It may be worth asking some questions, perhaps around the similarly to it. I mean, it should have occurred to us earlier, perhaps around the Franzlin Institute. They make weapons. It is quite possible that he has some interactions with them. And additionally, just if I doubt that there will be anything in the Force layer, but perhaps just ask some also innocent questions in the more wealthy parts of the district, even elsewhere within the carnival. I can say that previous to now that I was too concerned with his comings and goings personally, but I'm sure that there are others who know. We just have to find them.
All right.
Are there any kind of like public audiences that the governors hold?
Like a
Yes.
town hall meeting.
Yeah.
But no, they do hold like council on given days of the week, and petitioners were some of the ones on the rail car with you. The petitioners can go in petition.
Is that like a public thing where people can come in and observe the petitions and the interactions with the governor and stuff, or no? Governors and stuff, or no?
Yes. The petitions generally go before representatives first, and then those that pass at the first screening of import then will be passed on to, not passed on, but will be able to be given audience to the governors. This is a distinct point in a lot of the problems with things going on, is doesn't really do anything. So a
Gives
lot
a
of the
chance to observe,
petitioners
though.
will not get past the representatives, or the ones that do get past the representatives will be listened to with the utmost importance and then blatantly ignored.
It to be an opportunity, perhaps, to just put eyes on all of the governors at once, or at least some of them. Might learn something.
Don't forget there is two members of the Council of Governance that y'all have met, because they were also part of the Order of the Dawn.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Antoine Delafosse, representing Griffin,
Right.
and Hosan Asayesh representing Zorjin.
Well, I mean, maybe we're just, looking at it all the wrong way. I'm sure these folks that are getting information for us will give us, like, all the basic stuff, and we can just kind of take it easy for the next day or so.
I'm sure. I don't think we should do anything particularly risky, but Michelle Dupont, she is specifically going. She is the head of the servants. She's specifically going to be getting information where her people will be, getting a bit of a different perspective of what maybe around the rest of the city might give us information that, when combined with the information she gives us, creates a different picture.
Yeah, okay.
He said nothing risky. Just asking questions, seeing what people have to say, what people have seen, what they have heard, things like that.
Mhm.
And if he has had any recent goings on at Fonsland, I think that would be potentially eye-opening. Maybe.
So then why don't we do this? I wasn't joking that I do need to actually attend class every once in a while so that I don't lose my position here. So
Of course.
why don't I stay here, attend one of the classes that I need to attend. The three of you can go to Franz Lind, ask some questions in regards to that. And then when my class only lasts an hour, so when you guys are done, you can come back and we can go back to the Seven Jesters.
What? I mean, why do you need to go to that place anyway? I mean, you already know how to play instruments and stuff.
Roderick, do you remember our new friend Galag?
Yeah.
Okay, so there needs to be a reason as to why I'm here in the city. The
Okay.
reason I'm here in the city is that I am learning from the best here at this Bardic College. If I don't show up, then there's no reason for me to be here. So it's all about putting on a front, providing a reason. So is it silly? Yes, but it does help with the justification as to why I'm here.
Seems overly complex to me. I mean, I just showed up here, and that's where I'm at now. You don't really need a reason.
I know. And I envy you for that simplicity.
Apollinaire, what's your reason for being in the city?
I live here. It is my home.
There you go. Same.
I've lived here my entire life.
All right. Easy.
I mean, if you all want to sit in my dorm room for an hour,
No, we're good.
That is fine.
No problem.
So Seraphina is going to attend class while the other three investigate the Franz Lind manufacturing plant.
Yep.
Gaia would ask before we head out. Seraphina,
Mhm.
for your performance tonight, could I do and she's gonna cast a minor illusion and create a dancing nature spirit that's kind of wrapped in vines and has this kind of ageless beauty that's kind of almost unnatural, and just kind of spin and dance very beautifully.
Gaia says, "Try it."
Are you referencing my gig for tomorrow?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want to be invisible and do some magic while I'm there?
You cannot.
Please.
No, could I don't really know how I could help with the performance, but I could make some magic happen.
Yes, I will. Again, you probably would have to be invisible, or you can't do that while you're invisible. Let me figure something out.
She could be your assistant.
She sound tech.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yeah.
She is there to just provide a little bit of the ambiance.
Yeah. I think you from the changing room you could see the stage if I remember correct. No, you can't.
You put me in a box with just like one eye hole.
Over there, just poking your finger. Alakazam!
The changing room is just a small changing room, while the stage is like on the other side of the building in the lane.
Okay.
Duct tape her to the ceiling.
Guy, I will figure something out. I feel like that might bring some magic to the situation. Yes. Okay. I'll figure things out. I'll think about it.
I think people might be, impressed by a flying dancing cat if you had one of those with you. Just an idea.
I will keep all of this under advisement.
If not, I can always play with Maximilian.
You could. We will talk about this when we get back to the Seven Jesters.
It is good idea. All right.
You are muted, friend.
Said, executing plan of action. Seraphina, go to class.
Yeah, I'm going to class.
And for the rest of
Learn
you,
stuff.
Going to Franz Lynn, straighten some things out. I mean,
That is not what we're doing.
so
Gathering information that is pertinent to our current mission.
Franz Lynn is easy to find, as it is the largest compound in the second layer. Y'all approach, and there are high walls. Probably 10 feet high. Atop which there are spiked rails. You can see, or hear, I guess, the sounds of clockwork machines, hammers, voices. And as y'all get closer, there is a proliferous presence of soldiers, like soldiers of the city.
Oh.
Like
As posted up or like they're hanging out?
patrolling.
Okay.
So like a column of like 9 guards,
Gotcha.
walking by in a column.
That's a lot of dudes.
Where y'all going? You're just trying to loiter? You're gonna go to the front gate? What's the deal?
First, yeah, I was just gonna go to the front gate first. See,
The front
I have
gate has
bit of a plan.
The front gate has 2 entrances. One is a walking/riding entrance, and the other is the railcar entrance. As it appears, there is a railcar station within the compound.
Wow, fancy.
There are a couple dozen guards out front. These are not soldiers. These are Franz Lynn security. And they
They
are
would look
wearing...
Toasty.
No.
Recently toasty. No.
These aren't agents. These are...
Okay.
They're
Hey
security.
man, I don't know the Potter doesn't know
They're
the
wearing,
difference. They're thugs.
Breastplates, a short blade, and a rotary crossbow on each of them.
Kid it out.
And you can see towers every few hundred feet with 2 guards in each. With the one who is very clearly in charge, because he's not holding a crossbow and kind of standing aloof off to the side, is also a soldier of the city.
Gotcha.
So there's not like a check-in office. This isn't the store. This is the workshop.
Are that? Yeah, I'm just heading. Well, the workshop. So this is where like they like their executives and like any city dealings would occur would be probably here, not at their store. They're not rolling up to IKEA.
Right. In theory, anything important. They only have two. Franz Lynn only owns two pieces of property.
Right.
The
Store
workshops
and this workshop.
and the store. Yeah.
Gotcha. Pulling up on the walk-in entrance.
Halt!
Oh yes, hello.
What can we do for you?
You see, myself and my compatriots, we are conducting a bit of research and asking some questions. We are and kind of looking over at like the soldier of the city and just kind of like, no offense to you, of course, my friends. Great and small, we wanted to ask questions about the kind of interactions that perhaps were had in
This is not a
businesses.
tourist destination.
It is that is not as that. I assure you. I'm trying to create a petition to bring before the governors, which involves the businesses of Griffin in our magnificent city, and as one of the biggest of those, we are hoping that perhaps we could ask some questions to someone who may.
We do not answer
have-
questions.
It is nothing intrusive. It is just in the business, not the specifics, of course. That I do not wish to know of of specific like, the interactions with the people of the governors and such.
Also, Roderick, Apollinaire, and Gaia, are you all three in the high category, or am I rolling a d6?
Always high.
All right.
I am just an honest citizen looking out for the people's best interest, which includes Franzlin.
Make me
What
a
help them?
perception check. I'm not going to leave it up to passive.
Perception?
As this is perception
They are going to mug me.
first.
Everyone or just for
Ultimate.
Apollinaire?
All three of you. Anyone there?
11.
24.
I'm old. My eyes are not feeling good.
11. I'm young. My eyes aren't very good.
Come on, man.
I am
You
aged.
do have a D6. You do have a bardic.
That's true.
As you're sitting there debating with this man, who is
That's not a bit.
visibly growing more and more irritated, you notice
Public relations.
one of the guards kind of off to the side, whispering to another guard, and the one he whispers to goes running back into the facility. Roderick, you do catch. That is him. That is the one.
I was just gonna, without any form of like subterfuge in the middle of Apollinaire talking to this other guy. I'm just gonna kind of lean down and say to him,
That bloke right there just recognized me and ran off in the facility to tell someone.
Recognize you.
I mean, he is a very. If you do not notice, he is a very
Wait a minute.
distinct individual. Well, I'm very sorry to see that
You're the one from the poster.
that all of you that Franz Lynn does not wish
Hey!
to participate in assisting
it
the
all
people
down!
of Griffin. I wish you all a good day. And turn around and start walking.
What are y'all doing as
We're
you
leaving.
hear
walking the
shouting
facility
We're
down.
outta
a
here.
bell and the walk-in entrance
We're
gate
outta
just
there, baby.
crashes into the ground.
That's unfortunate. Gone. Like the wind.
Yeah, we should probably leave.
I realize Franz Lynn was such a
think
bitch.
we're like attacked
Meters.
or something.
You hear someone, because y'all are leaving, so you don't see who it's coming from, but you hear, "Hold your fire! No, hold your fire!" There are the clack of a few of the rotary crossbows going off, but it seems only 2 or 3 shots before whoever is trying to tighten it all down.
Sweating. Sweating. You know, and in hindsight, so perhaps
Where are y'all going?
you should have left you behind.
they-
Away.
Shoot arrows at us?
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 bolts that get fired after y'all.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Quick.
Let me. Shit.
Put the.
That.
Second, I mean, they're shooting at us.
No, they are not. The man was saying to not shoot. They panicked a little bit. I said, okay, we are going to keep walking. Yep.
I am going to cast Thermaturgy,
To rage.
and I will
No,
very
no.
loudly
Think.
shout back to the Franz Lynn folks.
Oh, I just wanted to talk. He's trying to kill me out here. Piss off.
Dink. Came to the noggin. Dink.
You don't get a response. All y'all can hear is the alert bell going on.
Just so it's known that there was not any violence from our part in the whole altercation.
I don't know why Franz Lynn doesn't want to participate in a petition, man.
Where are y'all going?
We are fucking
Away.
fuck out of here. Yeah,
Wherever
right now,
that is.
away.
Functionally, you just rolled up to like the front gate of like a Lockheed Martin manufacturing plant. We're like, hey, we came to chat with your executives.
I didn't want to talk to the executive. I just said anybody that they would let me talk to, and they were just like, "No,
Yes,
we will
that is how
fucking
that
shoot you."
works.
Like, okay, we're gonna go.
So I assume the store was also there.
No, the store is the store is in Carnival.
I mean,
That's the place where they're like, "Could we interest you in a timeshare?" Okay.
Maybe-
Yeah, no,
In the Blue District specifically.
Maybe we can go to the store and have someone to tell
like
someone.
say,
at the-
they will probably still recognize you at their store.
Oh, yeah, sure. But we might be able to actually talk to someone there since we can, get inside the gates, maybe.
But then we will be locked.
Where are
inside.
y'all going right now?
We're walking.
Where?
in
Where?
the-
Yeah, which area was? What district or whatever was the factory located in?
It's further east. So probably
Also within Carnival or in the second layer? Or...
Yeah, second
y'all haven't left the second layer. It's still
Okay.
the second layer.
Yeah, no, we're heading down to number Trace. Down to
See ya.
Carnival.
All right, so y'all-
That one.
Y'all taking like a rail car? What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Whatever is the fastest and least obtrusive
Gotcha.
in us getting pursued by these
Another silver.
people.
1.5 silver because y'all don't have all 4 people. So
One-
it's basically
five.
5 copper.
I got it this time.
What a
Boom.
Chad. Appreciate it, big dog. We're not good at this.
Where
That's
are
not
you
it,
going in
anybody.
Carnival?
All right.
Yes.
What's your
I'm
passive
going to be
perception?
very honest with you.
My passive perception is 18.
18. Okay. As the rail car is leaving the station, you do see probably 10 or 12 soldiers on horseback riding up and locking down that station.
Jesus Christ! Like what? Like city soldiers or like Franz Lynn dudes?
City soldiers.
Holy shit, dude! Why'd you piss these people off so bad?
I just fixed some things that they sell. That's all I did. I don't know why
I
they
feel
hate
like
me so
this has
much.
been much worse. Wait a second. Did you say you fix stuff that they sell? Like you fix like Franz Lynn tech?
Yes.
How big of a no-no do I know that is?
You were given a cease and desist, or then you disappear.
My friend, is that like? Come on, dude.
Well, actually, you would get a cease and desist. Something horrible would happen, and you would fall down a flight of stairs, and then you would disappear. You get 3 warnings.
Yep.
Or 3 events.
What? I was gonna say 2 of those are not warnings.
3 occurrences of them catching you
Holy Jesus God!
infringing upon the agreement.
Okay, so there's like 0% chance that we are going to be able to speak to anyone in your presence. Unfortunately, just so that out there.
You know,
They
They're making-
hate you.
right. Well, I mean, I get it. I'm just better than repairing stuff than they are. They charge too much. Not a big deal. Okay. What I'm thinking is that maybe they want me. Like,
No, they want to kill you.
well, I don't know. They seem kind of worried about me being there.
Real quick,
you
just to
torch.
see what's going on. So they're walking to the rail car on second
We're-
level,
So
and
they're
it's
on-
the rail car.
They're on the
and they
rail
tried
car, and as it
yeah,
leaves the
and those
station,
guys are like,
they saw.
"Lock this down,"
Yeah.
and we're just going, "Oh dear God."
okay. Oh, great.
They looked out the window, and Roderick was like, and noticed like 12 soldiers, encircling the station.
Good job.
If they saw us at the factory, I do not think that any of us would be able to go there to talk to them. I think
No, yeah, you're
I
right.
suspect that yeah, they seem to have really I mean, they don't know you're associated with us right now. Right now, Seraphina is the safest. Seraphina said she's gonna meet us back at the Seven Gestures, right?
So,
After her.
No, I was under the assumption that you'd come back to the college, and then we would all go together. That was the
I
plan.
misunderstood. My bad.
Chaos.
It's fine. It's fine.
Baby insurgency. This is still in its infancy. We're working on it.
Yeah. No, that's
All
fine.
right, so just keep things moving along. You guys will make it back to the Seven Jesters. Seraphina, you're still in class, at least for the time being, but not for just a whole lot longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are y'all doing?
Hold on.
well, I mean, generally speaking, when you're looking for someone, and they show up, you don't try to lock the place down, right? You don't want to bring them in, right? Not
I
push
think
them out.
that due to when you were attacked, we were attacked. I think they may find your reasons for being there less than amiable. Probably. Like, their assumption is probably that you are there to, like, try to burn it to the ground.
Yeah, Gaia gets kind of a glazed look in her eye, stares past both of you. They could think that you're there to kill them.
That is what I'm thinking. That you are there for vengeance.
I don't even carry any weapons, okay?
I'm pretty sure that they saw you summoned a flaming anvil from the ground that hits them.
Okay, I mean,
And-
sure.
Canonically, you have roughed up several Franz Lin employees that made their way to Durden's Row. Don't forget that.
Oh.
They was causing trouble, that's all.
So you've you have repeatedly assaulted their people.
No, I've never assaulted anyone.
That is
Sounds
what roughing
like
up
they
is.
got what they deserve.
Well, I mean, they started things, they were
That is
threatening
not the
people,
point right now, Gaia.
and things got escalated because they
To
were
violence.
being right cunts, yeah.
Yes, you see, this is why I was telling all the young people that they simply need to calm down.
Oh no, I mean, they was making threats, so, right, not like, oh, we'll beat you up, but like, we'll do bad things to folks you care about, so, that guy ain't gonna be threatening no one anytime soon.
Gaia will telepathically to Roderick just say, "You did the right thing."
Yeah. He'll nod and he's just gonna
All right.
Fuck.
Just so that we aren't leaving Kylie high and dry for
Yeah,
too
sorry.
long, what is the plan? So you guys are heading back to the Seven Jesters.
I am
Seraphina will be out of class in another 20 minutes. Or so.
I am an old man there are many like me.
What?
Out of the three of us, I am the least recognizable.
Hey, I could turn into a flying cat.
Oh,
I could fly
okay.
back.
Well, I guess if you want to go get her, yeah, you can go get her. It
I
seems to
figure
be
I will
us.
go fetch Seraphina and be like, oh, we're just kind
So-
I mean, she'll probably figure it out.
Are you
She's
going-
a big girl.
On foot or on railcar?
I'm gonna go. Oh God, how long would it take me to get there on foot?
Could you rent a carriage?
That was something I was about to think.
Yes.
Yeah, could I like rent like a footman with the little like pull it like a dude who's like running a cart?
You can rent a carriage ride, which will
I will
be
do that.
a whole silver just for you. That's part of
Fucking
why the
hell.
railcar
But
is
you know what?
popular, is
I'll
it's-
be anonymous. I'll be in the cart, in the carriage. I will do that.
So, you're not anonymous. So,
Oh.
just gonna try and speed these things along a
Is
little
it,
bit.
is it like an open top carriage?
Yes.
Oh well.
However,
very least,
comma,
you know.
it wouldn't have mattered as all traffic entering the carnival, or entering the second layer is being stopped.
That's fine. That's fine.
You are
Totally cool.
checked over by a handful of guards that check your cart, but very briefly. Clearly, there's
Yeah.
no large armored man. They ask
Yeah,
you a
see,
few
they
questions,
don't give a shit about
clearly
was gonna-
targeted at Roderick. You know,
Right.
Have
I'm
you
doing the
seen-
super old man thing.
and-
Like, is there something? Is there something wrong?
roll
I was,
me
going,
in.
I was just going to.
Perception check.
I have a
Not that one.
I have a grandniece that is up in the Bardic College, and I was going to see how her classes were doing. It just
Yeah, roll me a deception check. Don't that one, because they are being very perfunctory because they seem
Easy.
to be pretty convinced that you're not what they're looking for.
yeah. Well, opposite of a natural one.
Nat 20.
Natural 20 for 28. Yeah, no, they're
You're
like
there for like
the most
15 seconds.
useless natural 20 on the face of the planet.
Hey. No,
They're
Nat
like,
20
this
is
dude
useless.
is definitely going to see.
They're
this
they're
movie.
so touched by your story, they want to escort you there, so you make sure you.
Dear God, please no.
Seraphina, you have been out of class for nearly half an hour. Finally, Apollinaire is led to your room by a staff member. Miss Seraphina, your uncle is here to see you.
Late uncle.
Great uncle, I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. He gets a little senile sometimes, and so I'm glad that you were able to bring him to me.
Please be careful, there is apparently some going on with the Franz Lind. The carriages are being locked down entirely and they're searching everybody going between the layers. So, if you need to take him somewhere, just be mindful.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that information, and thank you so much for the consideration. We'll be safe, I'm sure. Who are we to insult the Franz Lind? I simply just have my instrument. My great uncle is a little senile. Thank you so much for your concern.
Good evening, Miss Seraphine.
Goodbye.
She's just like one of the staff members. So.
Yeah, Seraphina messages Apollinaire and goes, "What the actual hell? I could hear
Tell me.
the bells."
Tell bells. It would appear that Roderick
Roderick, what?
has done some violence previous to attending a guild.
And he keeps making fun of me for having my.
It was very justified. They were threatening the people of Tilton Law with disappearances and like. Well, they are apparently very frightened that he is going to attack them.
Wonderful. All right, well.
Yeah.
Let's go then, so that
It
can
is fine.
get this out of the way.
They are freaking out a little bit up here, but they are both Gaia and Roderick go back into Seven Jesters. Just okay.
Wonderful.
I take
Yep.
it you'll be heading back to the Seven Jesters.
Yes.
Along with, in the same carriage,
Yeah,
Sure.
another silver.
that's.
Fuck.
We have 8,000 silver. A couple of silver, it's fine.
You are waved through because the guards recognize you from your original deception and they expected to see you with your
It's going to get my grandniece.
great nephew or great niece.
Grandniece.
Grandniece, whatever. The young lady. So that's exactly what you said you were doing,
Fantastic.
and appearances match.
I'm an honest man. God damn it.
Right. Whatever discussion or bickering as it may be,
It's okay.
you will reach
Sorry.
the Seven Jesters.
Great.
They have been gone for about an hour, a little bit more maybe.
Whenever they get
So-
back through the door, I'm just gonna be like,
You know, I've been thinking it since you're gone, and I probably shouldn't go up to the second layer for a couple of days.
I think that outside of any like actual we are doing the missions or anything, I think you should not go there at all. It is considering their response, I think it is a miracle that you made it up there at all. Honestly, that is baffling to me.
Did he tell you about what happened?
If y'all wish to communicate via message,
Yeah, I just kind of gave her the rundown.
the rundown can be assumed.
Yeah,
was
yeah, no, yeah. We messaged the Apollinaire gave me the whole skinny
whole
on
thing.
and Seraphina when Roderick says that gives you the look of. So we're not going to be splitting hairs about how I do things anymore.
What you mean?
Well,
I mean, people threaten other people. I mean, sometimes words have consequences, but I mean, they didn't kill any of them. You know,
only crippled them for life. Like they're
Actions
made.
have consequences. That is true.
bones can heal, and gives them plenty of time to think about things.
And I would like to point out, I say this to Roderick. Aside from the people that we dealt with on the road, I've only said that we should kill people. I know far worse things to do than to actually kill them. So that's usually the kind thing, is to kill them.
Okay, well, I don't even know where you're going with this conversation.
That's
'cause
okay.
You were saying that I was being bad for beating people up, and now you're going to say you're going to, like, torture people and stuff.
Who said that I said torture?
Okay.
So, no more wandering anywhere near the Fonzling.
I didn't mean
Like
to
the
get
party get
posters
fucking
up.
Roderick. Like,
Did you kill somebody?
Maximilian, go downstairs.
Well, no. Well, I was going to say not recently, but that'll be a fucking lie.
Maximilian, downstairs.
Maximilian was like hiding out behind one of the pews and rolled higher than his stealth check than any of y'all's passives. So
Fucking kid.
Great.
Maximilian.
are you on a mission?
Always.
Oh. Are you going to steal something?
We don't know yet. Maximilian, I promised you that I would help you learn some of these letters in that book that Galag brought. Why don't you and I go downstairs, and while you are eating, I will help you pronounce some of these letters, and you can practice some of those letters.
Oh, excellent. And he just completely alters course, as children do, from one subject to another, grabbing the book up and running to the stairs.
Great. I
And then
follow
turning
him.
around and looking at you.
I'm following him the entire way.
Yeah, he anxiously takes her hand to go learn Sylvan.
Great.
The rest of you are left without your
How?
elf agent or your child.
Not our child. Not our kid. Hold on a second now.
He's our
Technically,
friend.
she's not your elf agent either. You know, if we're talking about true possession.
Members of party do not contain the
As-
10-year-old.
As I'm leaving, I message Apollinaire and go, have your discussions, your arguments, whatever. Come downstairs in 5 minutes. Let's sleep on this
Okay, emoji.
and move on.
He sends you the okay emoji.
Great.
Old man out of touch. Kids don't use emojis anymore. Come on.
Make me a check with your combined charisma and intelligence and proficiency.
Holy
Seraphina.
shit. Oh, for Seraphina.
Okay, wait.
This is her
Say that
learning.
Pretty
one
fucking
more
high
time.
bonus.
Charisma, intelligence, and proficiency.
That's a lot of numbers.
Charisma, intelligence, and proficiency.
Big number.
That is going to be, let's see. That's a dirty 20.
Whoa!
The learning this boy is
Teaching
letters real good.
Teaching
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
I love teaching checks.
He is enthusiastic.
Great.
I'm just gonna spend the 5 minutes stressing that we somehow need to keep Roderick away from Bronzeland people in perpetuity.
Okay, I understand it's a fuck up, alright? But in my defense, I didn't fucking lay dirt road until all this stuff started happening. I just stayed where, you know, I was welcome.
And that's just fine. We need to not have consistently the complications of them sicking all of the soldiers in the city on you
Right.
because they think you're about to assault their workshop, apparently.
Well, we know that now, so
Yup.
we can respond appropriately, which is don't go over them.
We need to work on that fireproof cloak situation. Put it on the document.
Just for
to-do
context, he does have like a thing around his hips that he can use to sit on things, but that's basically it.
list. Right. I'm thinking of a way to just make you
Yeah.
not quite so clearly man on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Not so much Denzel Washington.
There's a
Sure.
wonderful spell for that called Disguise Self, but you know, you have to take that yourself.
it's not a cleric spell.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
you-
What's that?
So, go ahead.
Gaia will telepathically send to Roderick. If they come to Durden Road and you need help, you can count on me.
I appreciate that, but I don't think they're going to be coming there any more often or too soon. You know, maybe I'll sleep on over there, leave a note for somebody there.
So what are you doing for the rest of the evening?
Once our 5 minutes past, go down to
Yeah.
where Seraphina is learning the boy something.
5 minutes, y'all are on like letter number 2.
Oh dear God, that's pretty good.
On
Hey.
the letter B.
Hey, you know, you don't learn the entire alphabet in 5 minutes. This is
Nope.
going to take a while.
Yeah.
Gaia will just point. I hated learning that letter. It took me like 3 moons to figure out that it sounds like that.
It is one letter.
Gross.
Yes.
So,
Aside from keeping my promise to Maximilian, that is really what Seraphine is going to do. Maybe later in the evening, pick like the songs that she's going to play for the next night. But aside from that, there's not really I can't really think of anything else she would be doing.
I mean, teaching will take up probably, a couple hours or however long you can maintain Maximilian's attention span. And figuring out your music, which you're a talented and well-trained musician, so it's not going to take you all night to figure out what you want to play, but yeah. The other three.
I would say basically just lay out the game plan with the whole squad of basically, unless anybody has some very specific ideas of what they want to do, of the game plan until we have this meeting where we're going to get information from Michelle DuPont, which I think basically consists of Serafina will be trying to gather whatever information she may during her performance from attendees or employees, correct?
Correct.
While those of us that are not a metal man on fire do a bit of the more mundane information gathering of just seeing what the people are saying about Mr. Governor Man Roquides and Spiros. I was blanking on his first name. Spiros Roquides. And what his interactions, if any, specifically are kind of with the general populace.
So just to streamline this, Serafina, are you doing anything tomorrow prior to your performance?
No.
Okay. Apollinaire /
Yes.
Gaia, I'm not sure if y'all are working together or separately. Where or who is your focus for your information gathering for tomorrow?
Gaia would want to have one quick conversation with Roderick, but we can do that after answers. Gaia would try to find a park or a gathering area of local street children.
Noted. And Roderick, while you are not being public for a couple days to let the fire, as it were, die down, hey, what are you going to be doing with your day tomorrow?
Well, the day will be used continuing to fix up the theater itself and creating a legitimate war table for us to actually use to plan things. But before this particular night is over, I would ask at least someone in the party, whoever was most willing to do so, to help me write a letter to my good old buddy Hewitt Shelley down in Durden Row and let him know to come and get me here if something goes wrong, but if only something goes really wrong, and also if he knows any information about the governor.
Gotcha.
Now.
All right.
Him or any of the folks down there.
And then, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, for the evening, are there any evening activities? And then we'll do our 3-2-1 break, and everyone will head to their daily activities the following day.
Yes. Gaia, if you'd asked for assistance writing the letter, Gaia would offer.
Yeah, Mister, I can't write with paper on paper.
Yes.
And while she's writing and there's a pause in between you telling her what to say, she's going to ask, do you think that people who torture other people are bad?
Yeah.
Do you think that they can get better?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Have you been hurting folks?
I have.
All right. Feel bad about it?
I do, and I did.
Did you try to make it right?
I couldn't.
Well, do better next time.
This single tear goes down to the collar. I'll try.
That's all we can do. I'll give her a pat on the back. No need for tears. Happened in the past. Looking forward.
I hope the future will be good.
For sure.
Now, this friend of yours.
Mhm.
Is there anything extra that you want me to put, like P.S. You're very handsome.
Oh no, don't do that. He's got a wife.
Okay.
All right. So with the letter being written, children being taught, and game plans made for tomorrow, and I guess for the evening since Roderick doesn't sleep, we shall adjourn for the evening. Y'all crash out, or pretend to crash out, or not pretend to crash out, as each individual case may be. Your downtime is unmolested, Apollinaire. No,
Great. Glad to hear that's
No.
up to a dice roll.
no voices over your
Good.
shoulder. Oh, it's not always up to a dice roll.
Heard the shiny rocks go click clack.
Oh, that time it for sure was.
Awesome. Wonderful.
You do whatever quiet assembly you can, Roderick, throughout the night.
Some slow, grading of woodwork.
And the night goes well. The following day, you all adjourn to your various tasks. Gaia, and I take it you are delivering the letter.
Yeah, I can do that while I'm out. Maybe there's some street children on Durden Row.
They're
Good row.
And Apollinaire, refresh me. Where did you say was going to be the focus of your investigation?
So outside of just like blatant straight up rumors, I don't figure I could get much on the fourth layer of value. So, and not wanting to go to the second layer right now. I'm just gonna wander the carnival on the third layer. Just they're right up against where they reside, so that I feel like they might hear the most true stuff, and probably the Thunder Lances maybe come down here to entertain themselves, and maybe they talk or just
So
see what there is to learn.
general populace.
Yeah, general populace just wandering from place to place, maybe having a beverage here and there, and
Make me a charisma and investigation check, and
charisma.
Gaia, for your part, you deliver the letter. I will allow Roderick's player to describe the house and the individual to whom you are delivering it, if he wants.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just sort of like a normal house. It's probably like 2-story, smashed into the middle of a bunch of houses. Durden Row itself is a pretty much the slums, but it looks like it's been kind of like it's pretty much just terrible, and then you get to Durden Row and it seems like a really nice cleaned up place compared to the rest of the slums that it's in. And the guy's house that you're going to is one of the better ones built, because it's very obvious that he's a carpenter. And yeah, he's just a normal looking dude in his late 20s with a ponytail.
He thanks you for the delivery of the letter, which is, he doesn't open it right there in front of you. And I need you to make me a perception check.
14.
All right. So then you also, while I address Apollinaire, make me a charisma and investigation check for your mingling with groups of children on the 4th layer. Apollinaire, what was the result of your charisma investigation?
14.
13.
14.
14.
14. I rolled a 6.
See. That gets you.
My bonus is higher than my D20 roll. Fucking sad. What was that, laddie? What'd you say?
So, quick question. If you did find Karathite soldiers,
Oh.
would you be addressing them with your questioning? Or just asking around
Fuck
them?
no. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be listening for people who had heard
Gotcha.
the gossip from the
You
soldiers.
you will have both opportunities because there are some Karathite soldiers that you come across.
Hey guys,
Um,
quick question. Where and when might I smash and grab your boss? Like
so that being said, asking the general populace, you spend most of your day finding not much of anything or looking for any tidbits of information. And it starts off just with information that you do indeed find a drinking house that primarily serves Karathite clientele in the Blue District called Kimon's Rowdy Drink. And then as you, I guess, meander closer and ask more individuals the right questions, Spiros has been known to go there.
to this drinking house.
Kimon's Rowdy Drink, yes.
Into
in the Blue
Kimon's
District.
Rowdy Drink in the Blue District. Okay. And I don't know if you would allow me to have this same line of questioning, like a different line of questioning within that same role. I actually would like to speak to the soldiers, not asking them about Spiros.
Yeah, what do you
However,
ask?
asking them about kind of just like as in like I said in like curious, from the 4th layer. Normally I don't come hang out here very often, right? Older guy. And just kind of asking them about as they're from Karoth, how do they like being in Griffin? How do the other Karothites like being in Griffin? Like, do they like it? Would they prefer to be at home? Just small talk, basically, like while I'm having a beer or something.
I don't mind it so much. The long tours of duty get old. It's a nice place, though. If I must be assigned somewhere long term, it could be worse. Beautiful city. Lots to do.
It's Zelda.
Great place to spend my paycheck.
Nothing you miss about you do not miss home, though.
My family. You are here with your family, so
Yeah. Yes.
do you travel?
No. Short distances.
Years
mostly,
away
not very far.
from your wife and kids. Too much. This one here, kind of like elbows a younger guy. No wife and kids. Is all celebration for him.
I'm sure that is to be looking forward to. You must, if you have been away for years, it must be soon that you will be able to go home and spend some time. Yes.
This is my second tour here. Pay is good. I have another year left.
Well, I play that the time passes quickly for you in the times that are boring, and drags on in the times that are fun, and before you know it, you'll see your family again soon, I'm sure. You'll feel like a blink of an eye.
If they don't appreciate me, they would at least appreciate the silver I send home.
Of course. So, general consensus is nice place to be, but they're not like, yeah, they miss their families and stuff, but they're not particularly like bummed out about being here at all.
Yeah, they are hundreds of miles from their homeland and families, for long periods of time, and that sucks. But I mean, if you got to be stuck somewhere with the carnival that is also the center of commerce, is not the worst place in the world to be stuck.
Right. But they wouldn't like rather be home.
They would rather be home, but if you have to be deployed for all
somewhere,
intents and purposes, might as well be
right. So nice place, lots of things to do. But that's basically the one thing that they're like, yeah, I like being here. And like I said, I'd kind of asked if that was like the general consensus of all the Kurthites, if there was anybody if there were people that were like, yeah, I hate it here or anything.
No, nobody seems to be like they hate it here.
Right. Okay.
Not out of the Karathite soldiers that you speak to, though.
Gotcha.
Gaia, what is the result of your roll?
23.
23.
Goddamn.
So this is not actually something you hear from the children. This is what you hear from adults, right? And this is over the course of the entire day. We're summarizing a great deal here. So maybe seed comments meant to like set conversations on the right track, or specifically asking about Karathite children, and leading the discussion in the correct way. And so that 23 is representing you properly guiding conversations to bring the right subjects to the surface. Doing so, the information that you get is that not only is there the venue that generally serves the Karathite soldiers, but that it is odd because Spiro is the only member of the governing body that regularly frequents I'm about to drop a percent dice. That frequents what would be considered a working man's drinking house. There is an incredibly well-known and upscale, like the Ritz, basically, drinking house and eating house in the Gold District that all of the others, like, that's the place to go. That's the place to be. And they always thought Spiros was weird because he, A, doesn't go there, and B, does go to mundane, ordinary places. And that's what you get. And so those are the accumulation of the full day of digging around for the two of you. Kylie, before we get to you, we're going to hop over to Roderick real quick. Then we'll get on to yours, since yours is kind of the capstone for the evening. And we may go like 5 minutes over, if y'all don't mind. All right.
Rolled a 19 on the dice. For crafting.
Oh, crafting. Okay. Like, wait, where are we going with this?
Crafting check.
Well, fun fact.
Uh-oh.
You are not crafting alone. Not entirely. Not for the full day. At a certain point in the day, sometime between breakfast and lunch, you are joined by Mr. Pascal. A working man as well as a warfighter, I see. Turn around and he is standing there with the door shut. Barely heard him come in, which is crazy because his legs are made of metal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I do. Fix things up.
Interesting. Do you mind
What's that?
showing me how?
Sure. Oh.
Again, teaching him how to do stuff and showing him what he's doing wrong, and et cetera, et cetera.
So during this day of guided craftsmanship, he's very quiet for most of it. he pays for lunch. Y'all eat something pretty nice, or he eats something great. I just realized you don't eat. Never mind. So y'all break for him to eat lunch, I guess. And just you say that is what you do. So kind of gestures the armor.
No, it's not armor. That's just me.
Oh, right, but it is definitely both form and function. It seems warlike nature.
Maybe so.
But this is the primary you, the real you, your choice of activity.
Well, I mean, it's something I'm good at. Pretty much anything I get my hands on, I can figure out how it ticks.
Looks at like the fully constructed, like sanded and finely worked war table you have set up. So I see.
Names, pick some of those front lens things like you got. They don't appreciate it too much, but
No, dangerous work. Surprised they've not had a go at you yet.
yeah, a few.
Oh. Impressive.
Yeah, crossbow bolts and stuff don't do too good against someone made out of metal.
Suppose. Do better against people like me, no?
It seems like they might have plenty of times in the past from the damage you've taken, lad.
And not crossbow bolts. It was one of those balls that explode and send metal bits everywhere.
Never seen one. Sounds bad.
They were raiding our house before the Black Sunset, and it was the home of a dangerous terrorist. They did not knock. They just throw some through the windows. After it goes bang, they kick open the door and run in, but everything had already happened. The ball did everything it needed to do. But it is funny, it's their same technology that lets me still hold things and walk.
Yeah, I mean, who can make that comparison? Hey, these folks out here, they made a bomb that blew me up and, technology that put me back together. But, I mean, same can be said about any human, about me, you, anyone.
I just found it ironic.
Yeah. It's just life.
Would you say the things you create are beautiful? Just runs his mechanical hand across the sanded surface of the war table, as of yet unadorned.
I mean, anything's beautiful if you look at it long enough.
It is a gift that you can make beautiful things, Roderick.
I mean, everybody can make something beautiful if they try.
It's very optimistic.
I mean, most people can make babies. I can't do something like that.
Well, not everybody, but it is a talent, I suppose. Oh. I want the people of this city to be able to spend more time making beautiful things.
All right, we got to start with not killing them. Step one. Easier said than done.
Still looks at your table for a little bit. Yes, but it seems that the gateway to no violence is more violence, but then it just creates more violence, not the peace that we were so hoping. I hope that this time, the violence to get to peace actually is peace. I don't know. I'm being silly.
I mean, violence, I feel like, is necessary sometimes, right? It's hard to teach a lesson without some type of negative reinforcement, right? I mean, those Franz Lynch fellas, they came threatening to hurt people I care about, so I roughed them up, hurt them. They enjoy doing it, but they
I
didn't
don't-
come for months.
I don't know if it is necessary for learning or if it is just unavoidable because of our nature. It certainly isn't going anywhere, I don't think. But I hope we can achieve as little violence as necessary for learning and as much just learn. I'm already tentatively minded, more hopeful for things.
That's
But
good.
I am also afraid, Roderick.
Yeah.
I have come to terms with this, and just kind of gestures at his whole shtick, his eye patch and his Franz Lynn prosthetics. But I don't want more little kids running around having to adjust to a life with artificial limbs. And I am afraid that we are going to see more of those before all is said and done. And that scares me, Roderick.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to get hurt one way or another.
But will it be worth it? Or will it be bloodshed that leads to more? And how can we know?
There isn't much of a way to know till after dust settled. So,
That is what I'm saying scares me. Because that is what was supposed to happen last time.
what happened last time? Right. I mean, I know you got captured.
Not just I was referencing the event. Big uprising, take to the
Right.
streets. Made it all worse.
Well, I mean, maybe try to do things on a more subtle scale.
That is what has been going on for the last 6 months. Apparently they rat around, try and get answers, and make a plan. Hired y'all somehow. Not the most orthodox of resistance fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon that's what I am now.
You
I mean,
spring
I-
a captive from
I prefer revolution builder, not resistance fighter.
call it what you will.
Yeah.
You found yourself on the side of a insurgency, the terrorists they call us. But you are not a local. You claim you're not a war fighter. Maybe that will be the difference.
I mean, I've been here half my life. I feel like a local.
Didn't you say you'd only been here for a few years?
Right.
How old are you?
12?
12.
Right. Yeah. 1, 2.
You're a very tall 12-year-old. A lot more mature than Maximilian.
Well, he's still developing. I had a head start, I guess. However that works.
That is a story you'll have to tell me another time. I'm interested to hear it, but thank you for spending some time with me. I'm going to get back to planning.
All right. Well, if you need any help, let me know.
This is far too tedious. I think your carpentry and assembling is much more interesting.
Yeah.
See you
So
later.
I do
Roger.
it. Yeah. You have a good day, I guess.
Kind of runs the hand along the table y'all spent the day making, and then heads back downstairs. Looks like we're gonna go a little bit more. Do y'all want to continue with Seraphina's section, or do you want to pick back
Yeah.
up with that next time? All right. So Seraphina,
Yeah,
you rehearsed.
I
You're dressed to
rehearsed.
kill.
yeah.
You're there, ready to perform. You're welcomed by the madam. Very excited to see you. Here is your stage. there are gaudily dressed women of varying ages and ethnicities trying everything from barely covered to completely covered, going for a more peacock aesthetic. This is the highest class of a what some would consider lower class profession. But clearly, they have all the class. And here, unlike where y'all were there earlier in the day, this is prime business hours. It is packed with everything from those who can afford to do no more than converse with the working girls to those wealthy enough to hire them. You're performing, so roll me a performance check.
Okay. That is going to be a 22.
22. You're rocking it. It's beautiful music. You maintain that relaxed but playful kind of blend that seems to be prevalent here.
And I sorry, I was gonna say, in terms of my demeanor on stage, I'm very aloof. Like, the girls are doing their thing, and I will be doing my best to ignore anybody trying to distract me.
They have policies here, and performers are not working girls. You are left alone. And those that are not aware of this policy are made aware of this policy by the very built people that guard things.
Great.
Keep away from the DJ booth, basically, is what it comes down to.
Amazing.
You are provided a very delicious high-tier meal and whatever drinks you may so desire. A couple of times throughout the performance, the madam does check on you. How are things going? The music is beautiful. Everything I'd hoped for.
I'm just happy to be of service, to provide the proper aesthetic for an establishment like this.
Just as a heads up, throughout the night, you'll make an additional 25 silver in tips.
Great.
Some of it from the working girls who like having the nicer environment, some of it from the wealthy individuals that good music helps their situation as well. So,
right.
Go ahead.
One of the things that I think when I was talking to my good friend, Madame Blanchette, that I would require 2 15-minute off stage breaks, and in those 2 off stage breaks, converse with the girls in the changing area, because they need to nibble on something or right. Relieve themselves, whatever, what have you. So just in that kind of sense, sort of talk to the girls of who are good tippers, try to lead the conversation into giving me information about their Johns.
Right. Give me a persuasion check. We'll call it a persuasion check.
Great.
Also, I need you to tell me, are you doing the party high or your traditional low?
Just
Let's go with high, since this feels like gambling today, and we're in a brothel.
Convert for the church
All right.
pie.
You dodged that bullet as you were conversing with these working girls, and one of them screws up her face, just like, "One moment, I cannot do this in front of the Johns," and just lets out just a rippling fart. She looks infinitely relieved after it. She made the fabric on her dress flutter with the force of it.
Amazing.
Oh, I've been holding that in for at least now. You were saying?
Oh my God.
That you said persuasion?
Yes.
It's a 20 math 24.
All right. Yeah, you're getting information on a lot of their highest tipping Johns, which are, as you would expect, some high profile merchants and nobles. Certain ones they do deign to, even with that, keep under wraps, just because they are very high profile and, it does not pay to overshare.
Of course.
You get the idea that it's probably mostly like clergy and such that they're holding back on, people whose careers could be affected. It's not necessarily taboo for a politician or a military leader to frequent a brothel. Not in this culture.
Right.
So.
Right. Do I get any sense that, like, aside from, we know that Rokides was here at least once, but can I get any sense that he visits occasionally, or just to be in the space, like not hire a girl, but like
I will say, with that 24, none of them have even seen, like, even if you were to ask directly, none of them have ever seen him here.
Great. Okay. Okay.
But if you're looking for a Karothite, we do get a few of the soldiers, especially those Thunderlances. They're more highly paid. They have more to spend on us, you see. Do you want me to set you up?
I appreciate your generosity.
We all have a type. No judgment.
Oh, I must get back to the stage.
I have a quick question. Did she call them Thunderlances or Underlances? Because it sounded like you said Underlances. I was like, oh shit, is that their nickname in the brothel?
It is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. You return to your performance. Is there anything else you are attempting to gather or listen for or such?
I think it's like trying to. So after figuring out that Rakides is not a frequenter of this establishment,
has never been seen.
Right. Well, but like whether he hasn't been seen there, the girls don't know anything.
No, so not about Spiros Rakides specifically.
Right. So Seraphina is trying to calculate this out of like, well, I have committed myself to this place for at least a few more sessions just because of appearances. This might not help right now, but what can I do that might further intel on the other counselors, or again, thinking about blackmail of folks that might be able to help us through coercion in the future if we need it. Just clocking faces, I guess, of like, okay. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to clock faces in this space where I can.
So throughout the duration of your shift, so there are a small handful of soldiers that come through, a couple of which are Karothite. As far as public figures that come through, high or low?
Let's go low this time.
Heresy.
You're playing. You see, or I guess you hear before you see, a semi-familiar voice. I said, my father will pay for it all. I want the third floor suite. Come on, me and my friends are having a good night. Let us keep it going. And you see Mazzanti and what appear to be several of his friends as he comes in. He's already got a little bit of a flush on his cheeks. He sees you and freezes. You are beautiful. And just the first girl he sees. Oh, you're so beautiful. And like, let us go upstairs right now. And is like probably the most obvious not making eye contact with you have ever seen in your life.
Duly noted. I think at that point, Seraphina is just going to continue to play her music and wait until, you know, let's call it 1 or 2 in the morning is when her shift ends. Because that's, nobody's going to be listening to music at 2 o'clock in the morning. They're doing other things.
She has you play closing time, as is standard for most places, and then you head out. And as we have gone quite a bit over, so as Seraphina retires to the Seven Jesters with her dubious haul of information, we're going to go ahead and call it for the evening. So, thank you guys for staying with us a little bit past schedule. I will go ahead and say our closing thank yous to our administrative team who make all of this happen. And someone could go ahead and drop the Extra Life link. We stay at the beginning, we stay at the end. Help out kids, and we're with the Extra Life, raising money for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Help kids, no downside. It's all moral, feel-good stuff, right? Who doesn't like the warm fuzzies? We're going to be rating someone, Perception Studio, so stick around and see what they've got. I'm sure it is a fun and exciting time. Not as fun and exciting as us, obviously, because we are objectively the best, but I'm sure they're a close second. So we'll see you guys this upcoming Saturday for our Cross Eberron, DM'd by our administrative team, who you can't see. He's invisible. Have a good night. See you all soon.
Bye. Facebook.
Facebook, LinkedIn.